FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station. WFAN Sports Flash.
This report brought to you by St. Joachim and Nursing and Rehabilitation Center. New Jets head coach Aaron Glenn has been preaching discipline and accountability since the day he took the job. They made a decision to make that very clear just 2 days after Xavier Gipson had a crucial fumble in their loss to the Steelers. Brian Costello is reporting that he will be released today. Reports say Giants linebacker Micah McFadden will have foot surgery, will miss significant time. Baseball, not a good night for the two local teams. The Mets lost in Philadelphia 9-3. Another poor start from Sean Manaea. Kyle Schwarber, a 3-run homer, his 50th of the season. Juan Soto knows the offense must improve. They were shut out in the first game of the series, only a few runs in a blowout loss last night.
We just got to find a way how to play better baseball. Attack early, trying to come out and give some room to the starters so they can work a little bit more freely. Yesterday was a tough one. Today was a tough one too. Where we kind of shake a little bit on the offensive side. I feel like we just got to play better baseball.
Soto did have a stolen base last night, so now a 30-30 player this year. Clay Holmes, Christopher Sanchez tonight. The Mets now lead the Giants by 2 games for the third wild card spot. San Francisco beat Arizona 5-3. San Francisco has won 13 of 16. The Yankees had an inning to forget last night. 2-2 game in the 7th. Detroit scored 9 runs off Fernando Cruz and Mark Leiter, wound up winning 12-2. They scored 4 of their runs in that 7th on a hit-by pitch with the bases loaded, 2 bases-loaded walks, and a wild pitch. Carlos Rodon takes on Jack Flaherty tonight. This report brought to you by Bet365. Football is back. Get ready for the season at Bet365. When it comes to sportsbooks, Bet365 has it all. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. It's currently 64 in Central Park. That's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco on WFAN, now streaming on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
It's Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata on WFAN The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
I think it's safe to say the NL East is over, BT, but Met fans in a full-blown panic with their team losing yet again in a non-competitive game in Philadelphia last night. The Giants winning. I'm still not worried. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be worried about a team that's in a playoff spot. Like, we can pick apart all that's gone wrong with the New York Mets, the starting pitching and how long it's been that it hasn't been very good since June 13th, the inconsistencies of the offense. I'm at a point, and I've been at this point for a while, just get to the playoffs, and then we can evaluate this team. Now, is there reason to believe that they're going to win the World Series? Of course not, but they're still in the playoffs. They're still over 500. I fully believe they're better than the Giants and Reds. Matter of fact, I think it's more likely they catch the Padres for the second wild card spot than it is that they miss the playoffs. So I am not panicking yet.
I don't know what to believe with this team, man. I really don't. I really don't. Let me say this, though. And, it's funny. We were talking about this yesterday, and Hoff went nuts. And Hoff might be right. We'll see. He thinks it's over. He thinks that the Mets are in the midst of a collapse. He's not alone. I'm not going there yet. But every day that passes where the offense doesn't hit, Maniah gets rocked, other things pop up, Mets lose, other teams win. You've got to at least start with this for me, because there are a million different ways we can split the pie, because there's a lot of problems with the Mets right now. If they give the baseball to Sean Manaea again, they're idiots. Now, they very well might. But they are absolutely out of their minds if they give him the baseball. All right, this is what it should be: the 3 kids, it should be Peterson, and it should be Clay Holmes the rest of the way. You got 17 games to go, and I know that he stabilized the game, but right away, rocket, Mets down 4-0, all the emotion, all the hope out the window. 17 games to go. He has been an absolute abject disaster this season with 32 earned runs in 50 innings. He is batting practice. The other stuff, we can flush through it all. And
do you think they're going to be a playoff team? Yes or no?
I don't know. I'll tell you this. If they give Sean Manaea 2 more starts, my answer would change to no.
Well,
he stinks.
Nobody knows, but do you think that they're going to be a playoff team? Yes or no?
My answer is, if they give Maniah the baseball, no. If they bypass him, then I still wouldn't say yes.
You think it's about Sean Manaea?
I think Sean Manaea stinks, Sal. He's getting lit up every game.
But to me, that is a separate conversation that I'm ready to have with you. I just wanted to get to the playoffs first. You think the Mets playoffs hinge on Sean Manaea?
Sal, he gets the baseball every 5 days. They've got now they got a 2-game lead now. He is by far the worst starter. McClain's better, Sproat's better, Tong's better, Holmes is better, Peterson, who's not been that good, he's better. He's the weakest link, dude.
No, first of all, I would not have had him in the rotation prior to last night's start. I do not think today is the day to be saying he shouldn't be in the rotation because actually you can make a case his start last night was the best that we've seen from Maniah.
If that's the case, then
well,
you can take the consolation prize. I know he stabilized it.
So
whatever Mendoza said to him, I'm not willing to take a chance. I'm just telling you what I would do if I ran the team. Listen, there are other options. Sal, if there were no other options, then you got to run him out there. He has been a zero this entire season. I don't think that he's physically right. I'm not trying to bag on a proud veteran who was good last year, but it is nut-cutting time. There are 17 games to go.
Right, so how many is he going to be in?
Two, three, too many.
So
if it's one, it's too many.
So then how is he the key to whether they're going to make the playoffs or
because I don't think he gives them a chance to win any game he starts. That's why.
Okay, but you could say that some of the other guys don't do that as well.
Who? Nobody like him?
Maniah, his last 3 starts, 3 2/3, 4 2/3, 4 2/3. The start before that, 5 innings, 4 runs, which is exactly what you got last night. And last night was actually better because he started out horrible as opposed to starting out great and then fading. Last night he started out horrible, had that talk with Mendy, and then he went out there and stabilized. So I just don't think that. Now, again, I'm somebody that said Maniah should be in the bullpen. I'm saying this 2 weeks ago. But I'm not saying that today, after last night, he needs to be jettisoned because maybe it was a turning point for him because he did stabilize and actually gave them a better start than his last 3 times at the very least out.
Listen, there are moments where guys can self-correct. Like Helsley. Maybe Helsley is in the early stages of figuring out who he was, okay? Really good outing the other night. You might be right. What I'm saying with Maniah, what I'm saying is I'm not taking the chance.
Okay, but so
I am not running him out there with a dwindling lead and him being batting practice, which is what he's been since he came back this season. It's been terrible. His ERA's almost 6, Al. No, it's not almost 4.5.
BT.
It's not almost 5. It's almost 6.
Congrats. You could read the stats. Watch the game, and then you see that.
But I watch every game he pitches. He stinks.
He did not stink last night after
Did he give the Mets a chance to win? Did he come out and get bamboozled immediately?
He actually did when he stabilized after 5 innings. They lost last night because they couldn't score again.
I understand that, but even if they scored 3 runs, he gave up 4, so they still would have been behind it.
Did Jonathan give the Mets a chance to win on Saturday?
By battling, yes, he did.
He did. 6 innings, 4 runs.
And Maniah it was probably his worst start, but he battled, and I thought it was pretty... I thought it was impressive for a young kid.
But I just find it odd that you're picking on Maniah now when that was his best start maybe that he's had since he's been back.
I'm not picking on him. Sal, let me ask you this. So, okay.
Like, to me, he's not the story.
He's one of the story. He pitched last night. They lost. That's the story. But that's why I said we could split the pie a million different ways.
Yeah.
We could have started the show talking about the Mets offense. Mets offense. I mean, anybody get hit? I mean, is anybody going to hit the rest of the year?
Well, to me, that's the bigger issue.
We could have easily done that, but Sean Maniah was pitching like Sprout or really McClain more so. All right, rough start, big deal. You give him the baseball in 5 days, Mets will be fine. He has been terrible all year. The stats bear it out. The eye test bears it out. The results bear it out. All I'm saying is, and you disagree, that's fine. I would not run the risk. If there's 40 games to go, I got a little more wiggle room. I got 17 games to go.
So what would you do with him?
I would not start him.
And what would you do with him?
Bullpen.
And then who are you starting now?
I told you. The 3 kids, Peterson and Holmes.
Right, okay. So
who all been better than Sean Maniah. Yeah. So you asked me the question, I gave you 5 better options. Right. I'm not stretching out to a 6-man rotation. Okay, Senga could go to Double-A for all I care, and I'm not starting Maniah.
Just to be clear, I said this 3 weeks ago.
Well, then why are you changing your mind now?
Because last night is not about him, and last night was his best start. I just gave you the reasons why.
But
it's not about... You think the Mets' reason why they lost to the Phillies 2 games in a row has been Sean Maniah? It's not. He
didn't pitch twice, so I can't say that there's twice that he's the reason.
So what happened consecutively?
I'm going to tell you, but listen.
They didn't hit.
I know that.
BT, last night was his best start since being back.
But it still wasn't nearly good enough because when the game started, he allowed the Phillies to put up a 4 spot and went south. If the Mets offense was clicking, well, then maybe, all right, you could work your way through that. When you are not hitting a lick, the Mets ain't hitting at all. And when that happens, you can't give up 4 runs in the first 2 innings. You buried. It's over. The morale, the shot, it's a different vibe. I know he pitched well after that.
That to me is more important. Like the fact that he stabilized in that ballpark against that team where he has got, like the reason why Sean Maniah hasn't been good is because he hasn't been able to have the stamina to be good through 4, 5, 6 innings.
I agree with that.
That's been a major problem.
Yeah, he started well and then he usually imploded somewhere. Usually starts well. Then like 3, 4, 5 innings, he's done. I get it. So last night was a different script. He stunk early instead of stinking late.
Correct. Correct.
But he still stunk.
And the difference is he stabilized after having a talk with Mendoza. So it would give me reason to say, you know what? Maybe he can figure this out. Maybe he has changed it. They're going to give him another start. But like, that's not the focus point to me. I mean, or the focal point to me. It should be about whether you think this team is going to make the playoffs or not. And I'm not worried about that. I still think they are going to make the playoffs.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, even with the Giants winning last night, it being 2 games, which is essentially 3 because the Mets own the tiebreaker, I still believe it's more likely the Mets are going to catch the Padres for the second wild card than it is that they're going to fall out of the postseason.
God, I don't know how you feel that way. I love that you're hanging on. I don't know how you feel that way based on what they've given you tangibly for a while. They have been an erratic mess most of the season. They had a really good start. They have been pretty much bad for 4 straight months. The guy that everybody counted on, the guy that was terrific last year to give him his due, and we did, Maniah, has been a disaster. Senga's in the minors. The bullpen, all right, again, maybe Helsley's getting his act together, which would be very good for the bullpen, and they could have a good bullpen. I'm not trying to take a blowtorch to everything about the Mets here, but most of the components, they're not hitting. They're not hitting. Their bullpen's been erratic, and they're just not beating good teams all of a sudden, and more specifically, they've lost a lot of games to bad teams. Dude, if there was more time, I would run the risk of experimentation. It's 17 to go. It's time.
Right, but what do you mean run the risk of experimentation?
Meaning I would be more willing to say, all right, maybe he did discover something those final few innings and be more willing to give him the baseball and have a start or two. Myself, I cannot justify giving a guy who's been that bad. Now, I know it hasn't always been first inning bad and he's in the showers by the second inning, but it doesn't really matter. If you're bad, you're bad. It doesn't really matter when you're bad. And he has not given the Mets a chance to win.
But if this was
consistently this year, Sal.
But if he just had his best start last night, why would now be the time to cut bait?
Because I'm not impressed with it.
Right.
Because to me, I think that's
it's the best start that he's had.
But that doesn't mean that it's good. That's where you and I differ.
It means he could be getting better.
It could be. I'm just not willing to take the chance.
Understood.
It could be. I hear you. I'm not taking a chance.
You also said you wanted Helsley out and down to the minors as well, and then he comes in the tight game yesterday or 2 days ago and
he pitched very well. And I gave it up for him.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that he's fixed. It just means like you got to pitch somebody.
I hear you. But here's the thing. I gave you 5 better options than Sean Manaea.
Well, how do you know that they're better options?
Because every time they pitch, they look better than Sean Manaea. That's why.
Sproats pitched one time.
He looked better than Sean Manaea.
Yeah, one start.
And I want to see start 2.
Okay, and Jonah Tong pitched twice, and one of his starts was worse than what Maniah did last night.
I don't think it was worse. He went a little bit deeper. I mean, he pitched. I thought he was better.
6 innings, 4 runs, and he was getting hit all
which is a quality start.
Give it up home run.
Yeah, I know. I get it, dude.
I don't know why you make it about Maniah. What I'm talking about.
Because I'm just saying because he pitched last night. That's the obvious reason.
Do you think Sean Manaea is the biggest reason why the Mets won't make the playoffs if they don't make it?
I think if he continues, I know you want a direct answer, but there's nuance here. If he continues to get the baseball, he will fail. Which, if the Mets don't get the other components together, they will miss the playoffs.
You know what's odd, BT? I was the one saying that I would not have Maniah pitch in the rotation. I would use him as a weapon out of the bullpen. After last night, I'm fine with him getting another start.
I hear you. I mean, I don't. Listen, I look at it this way, and it's not a great comparison, but if somebody comes out, and let's take you're right, because we both stink at golf, and we both play with each other recently. Let's say we come out, we go snowman, double bogey, 7, right? But then we play really good golf the next 14 holes. Guess what? The scorecard still sucks.
Right.
So when I look at Maniah coming out and throwing up a snowman early, I understand and I accept and I grant you that he absolutely stabilized his evening. What I'm saying is, in a pennant race, when things are getting tight fast for me, that's not good enough.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was good.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, understood, but then it can't be everybody else either. Then you're relying on 3 rookies who at some point are going to get hit. So.
Why do we say that? So if you can
you think everybody's going to be perfect the rest of the way? They've been 8 for 8 so far.
No, I mean, nobody's perfect, but I'm willing to roll the dice with young players who look like they're not overwhelmed and have much better stuff than Sean Manaea.
And then even if it is, they got 17 games to go. Like you're talking about maybe 2 of the games. Maybe Sean Manaea would start 2 of the games.
Understood, but you're only up 2 games.
Right.
I know 3 with the with the tiebreaker. That's why I said if there was more room to experiment, I'd be more willing to give Maniah room to find himself. I'm past that point.
Right.
Egos aside, and I'm not saying Maniah wouldn't handle it well, but egos and salaries, that is out the window. If you're 22 years old making $400,000, the prorated rookie minimum, and you're better than Sean Maniah, which I deem all three of those kids better, you're pitching.
All right, so you don't want Maniah in the rotation.
I don't.
Will the Mets be a playoff team?
If they take him out, I think they squeeze in.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Jeff is in Oceanside. What's up, Jeff?
Good morning, guys. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Hey, Jeff.
I'm all right. I'm done with the Mets. You know, guys, I've called in. I'm a big Mets fan. BT, I agree with you. Maniah can't start again. Sal, I hate to say it, they're done. They're not going to hold on to this 2-game lead. I know technically it's 3, but the writing's been on the wall for months. Unfortunately, they just don't have it this year. And I'm with you, BT. The rotation's got to be the 3 kids, Holmes and Peterson. Yes, Sal was his best start, but it wasn't good. It still wasn't good.
Right.
And it's a difference when you spread out 3 or 4 runs over 5 innings, then you put them in a 4-0 hole. This team has that thing. As soon as they fall behind, their bat change, their approach changes. Unfortunately, it's just not there this year, and I wish it was. I watch every single game. I got my whole family. We watch every single game. They're just missing it. They're just missing it this year.
Well, right now they're making it, actually. Thank you for the call, Jeff. Right now, it's funny to me, and I've heard this from many people. It's funny to me that they've played 140, 5 games, whatever it is.
Something like that. 17 to go, right?
And they're still well over 500 and still in a playoff spot. But yet the world is falling down and they don't have it. They're not good enough. They haven't been good enough. Are the Reds good enough? Are the Giants good enough? Like, there's a difference between saying the Mets have had a disappointing regular season than saying that the Mets aren't good enough and are not going to be a playoff team while they currently hold a playoff
That's
spot.
why I'm not definitive with it. And it's not to straddle the fence. It's to understand the math that is still favoring the Mets. I understand that. But right now, Sal, the only thing favoring the Mets is the math. Because there's nothing to say about this team like this is the now you can say Soto, which would make sense, or you can say Pete. Okay, but I'm seeing zeros every night from the offense pretty much. So there's nothing in terms of their recent play tangibly that a Met fan that is really real about the situation can point to now and say, okay, this is why we're going to win. It's really just about the math.
No, I don't believe that.
Okay, so why do you think the Mets will make the playoffs? Besides the fact that they're up 2 games.
I gave you all the reasons yesterday. I'll give it again. I still believe in their top guys in that order. Now, if Lindor doesn't hit, if Alonso doesn't hit, they're not going to make the playoffs. But I still believe that I'll take those 3 up against any other 3 in baseball.
But again, to be clear, it's belief that it will return, not what they're currently doing.
Well, a week ago, they were on fire.
I understand that, but they're shutting out every night almost. They're not hitting.
Okay, but haven't you learned that it changes, if not daily, it certainly changes weekly?
Yes, I have.
If the Mets win 2 in a row and the Giants lose 2 in a row, what do you think everybody's going to say in 2 days?
It depends. I mean, it depends. It depends what they say now. If they say that the Mets are absolutely out, and then they say, well, then now the Mets are absolutely in, well, that's
exactly what they're going to say.
Well, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What I'm saying that I think that the Mets will find a way to get in. I think that those chances really increase exponentially if you sit Maniah out here. But I think, and the Mets have been very cyclical. They're red hot, they're ice cold, they're hot, they're cold. I get it.
Right.
But generally, not always, generally, that's reflective of a team that's not good enough to win it all.
Okay.
Or good enough to finish a 162-game race. Because when you're that inconsistent, you're inconsistent for a reason.
Fair enough. So why does anybody believe that the Giants or Reds are going to catch them?
Well, because they're getting hot late, and that's generally something that gives you some confidence.
Okay.
Like the Mets played great down the stretch last year, but it was a totally different vibe.
So it's not based on anything that happened in the 145 games till now, because the Mets still have a better record, even with all their flaws and all their struggles and all the losing.
Yeah.
For many different reasons, they're still 2 games at the very least better than the Giants, who they own the tiebreaker with head-to-head because they beat them head-to-head.
Yep.
They still have that over them. Now, it doesn't mean that the Mets can't collapse. Obviously, they could, but if you're asking me reasons why, I just gave you in them. I believe the Mets have an ace with Nolan McLean. I believe the Mets back end of the bullpen is better than most, whether it's Diaz, Rogers, Raley, they have some weapons there. And I'll trust Lindor, Soto, and Alonso. You don't want to throw in Vientos, who's getting hot a little bit too. It's not coming out of nowhere. They have the pieces. They are 76 and 69, where you have the Reds, who are a game over 500. The Giants, it's taken the Giants, who have gone on some kind of stretch here, beating whoever they're beating, the Rockies, whoever else it may be. I know the Diamondbacks now. They're 3 games over 500. That's a team that I'm supposed to believe is better than the Mets. Furthermore, the Padres are 3 games. The Padres and all the moves that they made and all the loaded talent that they've had, they're 3 measly games better than the Mets. So if people believe that the Mets can be caught, why can't I believe that the Padres can be caught?
You can.
Yeah.
I'm not saying not to believe it. I'm just saying
based on reason.
I'm just saying proceed with caution, because as much as we're sitting here saying that the Mets, we're not sure about the Giants and the Mets have more wins, the Mets don't have 12 more wins than the Giants. They have 2.
Right.
So they're basically playing the same type of baseball. The difference is one team's red hot, one team is ice cold.
Larry's in Westchester. What's up, Larry?
Hey, Sal, BT, what's happening, guys?
What's up,
Larry?
Listen, when I heard Hoff on the fan yesterday, I couldn't agree with him more. I'm a Mets fan for 60 years, as you guys know. This team, Sal, I hate to tell you, it's circling the drain. Not only are they going to miss the playoffs, I think they're going to have a tough time finishing 500 with this team. They are just not playing inspired baseball. I don't know if it's the hitters, if it's Mendoza, if it's something.
Larry, let me ask you something. Larry, let me real quick. I don't mean to jump on you there, but I am curious. Where do you stand on Maniah? Would you run him out there again, or would you sit him?
They shouldn't have started him last night. I'd rather go with those 3 kids and Peterson and Holmes. Maniah, he's a detriment to the team.
Okay.
He can't pitch. I don't know if he's hurt or whatever.
He's hurt. He's hurt.
I believe that. But, if you're hurt, you're hurting the team.
I agree, which is why I'm saying I'd sit him. Yeah, I'd sit him.
Yeah, I would definitely sit him.
But I think he's hurt.
First of all, you're both late to the party. Second of all, if he can't pitch, how come he threw up 3 scoreless innings last night against the Phils?
What do you mean late to the party? I don't even know what that means. Late to the party about what, Maniah?
Maniah had his worst days for weeks ago. Yeah, so if I'm saying weeks ago that I would have moved Maniah to the bullpen, why is it taking everybody else so long to get to that conclusion?
Well, I think everybody has different barometers, and I think
But so you're going based off of his best start. That's the barometer? That's the delineation where you're going to say, now move to the bullpen?
Well, you're making it seem like he scattered 3 hits and struck out 10 over 7 of the 3rd innings, and the Mets won 2-1. He gave up 4 rockets to start. The game was over.
Right, and then...
So if that's his best start, I'm not impressed.
And then had 3 scoreless innings behind it. I'm just saying that, the time to say that Maniah shouldn't be in the rotation is not today.
Yeah, but hold on. Sproat hadn't come up yet. Yeah. So I didn't know what Sproat... And Tong, when you said that 3 weeks ago, Sal, the only person we had seen was McLean. So it was McLean. It was whatever remnants you had of Senga, Holmes, who was the innings limits, and, obviously not going to give you length. There were a dearth of options. So the reason why I'm... aside from the fact that he stinks, the reason why I'm changing my mind on Maniah is I have been provided with evidence to the contrary. They are better than him. It's not late to the party. It's acknowledging the new information we've all received. But you're just not reacting to it. We are.
The new information is that Maniah is coming off his best start. No, that's a fact. You're a stats guy. Look at the stats.
I did. You don't think I looked at him?
So no, but that's what I'm saying. So the new information is Maniah showed you last night his best start. I didn't believe he could last 4 or 5 innings. He did that last night. So that's new information.
All right, so he buckled down and was a pro and did his job.
Right.
But he didn't do the most important aspect of his job, which is give his team a chance to win again.
I think 4 runs in that ballpark through 5 innings is giving
They don't
your
have
team
Trey Turner. Half the lineup's hurt. Come on, it's not the potent Phillies team that we think it is.
Understood. I'm saying you don't think 4 runs in 5 innings is giving your team a chance to win?
I think it's giving you a chance to win, but I don't think it's good. I think it's relative. 4 runs in... I'll tell you this. If Max Fried or Sproat or I'm just pulling names... If any of those pitchers, anybody, gives up 4 runs at Rodon, 5 innings in a playoff game, I'm getting on the air saying you didn't do your job.
Understood. This is not a playoff game, number 1. Number 2, he settled down. Number 3, Jonah Tong, who you trust more than Maniah, gave up 4 runs in 6 innings, giving up home runs all over the place.
Who looked better? Who looked more dominant? Who looked more in control?
Sean Manaea this year, even in those 3 2/3 starts, has been more dominant than almost any pitcher on the Mets outside of McLean. He's shown more
This is an interesting sword to die on. Good luck. I sincerely mean this.
It's not a sword to die on.
Good luck with Maniah, because I don't see it.
No, I'm just saying, you asked who looked more dominant. If you actually watch Sean Manaea pitch, it's why I said get Senga out of here and move Maniah to the pen, because he's shown that he could be dominant. It's just that he couldn't be dominant for 5 or 6 innings. He's shown he could be dominant for 2 or 3 innings.
I don't trust him. You can keep him. Good luck, dude. He looks terrible.
BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019. More your calls when we come back.
Keep listening for your chance to score a pair to see Mike Tyson. Return of the Mike Tour coming to Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Atlantic City on January 23rd. From our friends at the Hard Rock Hotel Atlantic City. Tickets go on sale Friday 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. It's all from the Fan, 101.9 FM and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hey, FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you won't want to miss. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet. Bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. You can build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. The NFL season is finally here, and the only question is, are you ready to play? Visit FanDuel.com/Boomer to download the FanDuel app today and get started. That's FanDuel.com/Boomer. Now, we all love the app around here. It is safe, secure, and when you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of WFAN.
21 and over and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, go 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-3693.
Clogged toilet, leaky faucet on 1. Ready?
Uh-oh, you got a plumbing problem blitzing through the line. Time to audible and call in the pros. Roto-Rooter is your go-to defense for clogs, leaks, and any plumbing fix. Call the right play and download the Roto-Rooter app and easily book an appointment and receive exclusive service discounts. Touchdown! Don't get sacked by plumbing issues. Call in Roto-Rooter, your MVP for plumbing solutions. Download the app today and score big on savings.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
It's time for an AFC East showdown. Be at MetLife Stadium for Week 2 as your New York Jets face the Buffalo Bills Sunday, September 14th at 1 p.m. Presented by Visa and Cash App. Fans in attendance will receive a Jets rally towel presented by Pepsi to cheer on the Jets. Lock in your seats now at nyjets.com/tickets. Once again, that's nyjets.com/tickets.
Hey, healthcare workers of New York, are you looking to make a difference? Saints Joachim and Ann Nursing and Rehabilitation Center is actively hiring nurses and CNAs. Call 718-714-4800. That's 718-714-4800.
Hey, New York. Looking for a great deal to stay connected? Now, for a limited time, Verizon's offering Fios home internet and 1 line of mobile for just $69.99. Yes, that's right, just $69.99 per month. Get unlimited welcome for $50 per month with autopay plus taxes and fees when you bring your phone. And add Fios for just $19.99 per month with autopay, mobile plus home discount, and bonus discount. Visit your tri-state area Verizon store today to get this limited time offer and switch to our 100% fiber optic network and reliable 5G network. Fios, for eligible new Fios internet and mobile customers. Fios $15 monthly bonus discount applied over 36 months. Mobile and home discount enrollment required. $99 Fios setup charge applies. Bring your phone. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
It's time. Time for the pro to get everything for the job delivered. Large orders of lumber, doors, windows, paint, plumbing, anything the job needs, all from one partner. Get it today with same-day delivery. Get it tomorrow with next-day delivery on 50,000 plus products. Or get it on your timeline with scheduled delivery on everything from framing to flooring. It's time to get your whole job, all your jobs delivered. Ask about all our new delivery options at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
Your cold is coming. Your cold is coming. When you feel a cold coming, shorten it with Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand.
Oh, no, not before my big trip.
The big trip you've been planning is coming up, and so is your cold. But Zicam can shorten your cold and get you back to planning sooner.
Thanks, Revere.
We really should keep Zicam in the house.
Shorten your cold with Zicam.
Take it from America's most revered messenger. Shorten your cold at the first sign with cold shortening products from Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand. Available in stores or see where to buy at Zicam.com.
We're always talking New York sports on The Fan.
At Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
Here are the fundamentals that have helped Nielsen Dodge make customers for life. There's always zero down payment available. We'll always give you up to $1,500 over book value for any trade. If you need credit help, we're here to make it happen. And of course, great deals on any new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo X 4x4, just $299 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Wrangler 4-door Willys 4xe, just $399 a month. Or choose from hundreds of quality certified pre-owned vehicles.
Fun is in the driver's seat when you save money.
On Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at NielsenDodge.com. A proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
Fun is in the driver's seat.
Drive into fall event.
With approval term 24 months, due at sign Cherokee, $38.94, Wrangler, $43.94, add tax tag, $498 dock and DMV.
For over 100 years, Sloman's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, they deliver more than just quality fuel. They deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, and 24/7 service, their dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Sloman's, the Tri-State's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving their community for generations. Give them a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomans.com.
Town Fair Tire became New England's #1 discount tire dealer by giving you the absolute lowest prices guaranteed. And with over 100 stores from Connecticut to Maine, we'll beat anybody's price. Other dealers, we beat them. Warehouse clubs, we beat them. Online sites, we beat them all every day. So remember, for the absolute guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, The Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT Sal back on The Fan on this Wednesday morning, 888-808-1019. I could tell BT already it's going to be a long day. I don't have it in me fighting off Met fans all day long here with a team that is still in the wildcard race. Like I said, I choose to evaluate this team when the season is over. I'm certainly not going to go DEFCON 10 or whatever it may be with the Mets still currently in a playoff spot after watching them. I'm 45 years old, soon to be 46. I've seen plenty of bad baseball in my life. I've seen plenty of bad teams that were hovering around. But actually, the good teams were the ones that were hovering around 500 with, say they were 3 games back with 17 to play, and they'd be like, hey, maybe they can make the playoffs this year. Those are the good years. So I'm certainly not going to go nuts yet with the team still with all that's gone wrong. Worst record in baseball since June 13th, or one of the worst. The pitching problems, the offensive inconsistency. They still hold the playoff spot. And until they're out of that playoff spot, then I'm going to reserve judgment because I think what they do based in the postseason is like this team was supposed to win the World Series. So until that's not a possibility anymore, I'm not going to give up belief in this team.
Well, I mean, listen, here's what it comes down to, and to the Yankees as well. I said this yesterday. It's the ultimate evaluation comes after 162 if both teams make it, and Yankees will, and the Mets, I think, probably still will. Or after one or both teams gets bumped in October. That's obviously where we sit down, we flush through it all, what the managers do, what the GMs do, what's the offseason targets. That's the macro discussion. I don't think it's unfair from a Mets perspective, based on the payroll, based on the Soto ad, based on the trade deadline moves to still. Now, this is also a different conversation that we don't necessarily have today. We need to have now, but I do think it leads to a spiked energy and anger and dissatisfaction. Where the Mets are, you still believe that they're going to get there, and I respect that. I don't necessarily agree, but I respect it. There you go. But the fact that they're fending off two teams that they should be 10 games in front of with the expectations and the payroll, it still is a disappointing season so far. Now, not disappointed to the point where we go nuts and we bury everybody because the season's not over.
Right.
But they're supposed to be better than this.
Also, there are other factors in this as well. Did anybody realistically have the Mets winning the NL East before the year started?
I didn't.
I think most people, I said realistically, I think most people didn't. Even with the acquisitions, even with the payroll, it was still Phillies, Braves, Mets. That was the pecking order. So, okay, right now, the only thing that has been basically eliminated from the Mets this year is winning the division. Now, that's not a good thing because they should have won the division. They wanted to win the division. I still believe they had a chance. They fell apart there with the pitching being so bad. Let the lead get too far from them, and that was when they lost the division in June, July, whatever it may be. Really, probably July is when they lost the division. That brutal stretch. Anyway, that's the one thing that's out. With today's landscape in Major League Baseball, now, I don't like this. I believe a team that is consistent from start to finish of a 162 season should be rewarded in the postseason. And I used to think that mattered what you did in the regular season. It doesn't. That's not my opinion. That has been proven. So while I know that that's the landscape of the sport with the added wild card, with the postseason format changing, anything's possible. Until I feel like their goals cannot be reached, I'm not going to bury them because what if they do get in? I buried them last year at the beginning of the year. Nobody on planet Earth, including Cohen, Stearns, Alonso, Lindor, nobody ever thought the Mets would go to the NLCS last year. And they did it. And that's not reason to say that they could do it again because I don't believe they're going to go as far this year. Like anything is possible, though, when you get to the postseason, especially when you have certain pieces in place that they happen to have.
But it's impossible for fans to detach themselves from the preconceived notions and the feelings that they had coming into the season. And while I understand what you're saying, I really do. It applies to every team in baseball. It's very different in a way where it's almost unappealing, where it's become almost too wide open. And, you can have a bad week and be the best team for 5 months and you get flushed down the chute. And I don't think it's really fair, but it is what it is.
Or get in with 80-something wins and go to the World Series.
Like the Diamondbacks a couple years ago, 83, 84 wins. But still, if things go well, you guys have, 76 wins? I think it's 76.
Yeah.
If things go well, you'll finish with 85 or 86. That means you play over 500.
And that's not, so then,
that is not what it was supposed to be.
So then we can evaluate the regular season.
Yeah.
Hey, we can actually do that now. They've already lost the division, and they're not going to win 90-plus games. That, to me, is a bad regular season, not to mention the inconsistencies throughout. So there will be an evaluation based off of a bad regular season. Stearns and his moves in the offseason, Stearns and his moves or lack thereof at the trade deadline, the inconsistencies of the rotation, of the bullpen, of the lineup, of the manager, like those are all fair game. All I'm saying is that is going to take a back seat if they get to October, and then the evaluation comes off of what they do in the postseason, because that's really what matters most.
One more thing real fast before we get these Met calls, and I know you're pumped up, and we're going to hammer Met calls all day. 888-808-1019, BT and Sal. The other thing, too, I understand that this could flip on a dime, all right? We could come in here, whether it's the final week of the regular season, but more specifically, the first series in the playoffs if they get there, and McClain can spin an absolute gem, and the bullpen arms that you trust come out, do their job. Soto hits a 3-run bomb, and everything feels completely different. I understand that. But to get there, and this is where the juice in the first segment really was with me and you and Maniah, to get there, to get to October, I'm not pitching Sean Maniah again. I don't trust him.
Clem is in Rockland. What's up, Clem?
Hey, good morning, guys. Before I get to my Mets stuff, I just wanted to thank Clem from Surfside. Last week, I finally received this humongous box. I came home from work, and there was this box on my deck. I thought my wife ordered a riding lawnmower from Amazon. This thing was huge. So there was shirts. There was shirts, Bluetooth speaker, Surfside Bluetooth speaker, tumblers, coolers, man, just everything, man.
Glad he did right by you.
Any Met wins in that cooler?
Yeah, here's the problem. Clem from Surfside texted me last night. Because we had that
starting to lay it on thick now.
You owe him. You owe him.
I know. I'm going to have to get in that damn Phillies uniform now and BT in a Surfside can.
No doubt. At least you live up to your stuff, man. That's good. So last night, man, I'm watching the Mets game. It's over before it started. I know how you're saying Maniah settled down. So what I did is I went online. I started pulled up the Mets, all their games up to last night, and I charted stretches where they played under 400 and stretches where they went 600. So the highs and lows, the ebbs and flows. Now, based on my scientific calculations, They could be a little bit off because I had a few Surfsides in me. September 30th is when the Mets will roll around and get hot again just in time for that playoff pursuit. They just got to get there into the playoffs. Then they turn around and they get hot. So you got to believe, Sal.
Yeah, that's the hope, Clement. Thank you for the call. I just want to be clear, though. It's not, to me, it's not it's not a baseless belief. There is reason to believe that if this team can get in, finish it off and just get in, they can do damage. The problem is when you find yourself saying, oh, God, just get in, hold on. That's a dangerous spot. But to your point, BT, they could go out there and win the next 2 games. Whether you believe it or not, doesn't matter. It could. Mm-hmm. And the Giants could lose 2. Or just say over the next 4 games, the Mets win 3 and the Giants lose 3. And now that lead is back to 4. And it changes so quickly. And when you're talking about only 17 games to go, that's why the Mets are they're still in a good spot. Would I feel as good if there were 2 games back? Would you rather be in the Giants spot and the Red spot right now or the Mets spot?
I mean, I have to say, I hate that you asked me that, because I have to say the Mets because it's the math. But in terms of being a fan, I think I'd rather be rooting for a hot team.
I've been in those spots. Yeah, but who's to say that? The Mets just swept the Phillies a week ago.
I understand that.
They took 2 weeks ago, whatever it was now. They took 2 out of 3 from the Braves. They won 2 out of 3 from the Tigers, the first place team.
Also lost 3 out of 4 to the Marlins, 2 out of 3 to the Nats, and might lose 4 straight to the Phillies now.
No, well, they might. They lost the first 2. So
I get it. Listen, there's a chance for anything. Nobody knows how the script is going to finish. We all know that. You present the possibilities, which I'm not here to shoot down because they are possibilities. The other possibilities, which I don't necessarily believe, but it could happen, the Mets lose 5 more in a row, and this time next week they're looking up at the Giants or the Reds. That's also possible.
Hey, look, it is possible. And if that is the case, then we will react in accordance. But to call this team, the word that Vac used a while ago was wretched baseball team. To say they're wretched, and I'm not trying to pick on him, but just using that example, I forgot the word yesterday.
Yeah, I remember when it came up at the show.
Wretched team to fans.
Is that the word that he used, wretched?
Fans are going to collapse. Or the fans thinking the Mets are going to collapse, and it's awful.
Wretched's a little, to me, a synonym for wretched is heinous, unacceptably gross and bad.
And we've seen that.
They've been erratic, but they haven't been in totality that word that. I wouldn't agree with that with Vac. And I love that, but that's not true.
Inconsistent, that was months ago. Inconsistent, disappointing, maddeningly frustrating, all those things. Yep. Yes, that applies, but think about how spoiled you are now as a Met fan that all those things, you're still in a playoff spot. Still in a playoff spot with all those things that have gone wrong. Now, they got to hold that spot. That's the key here. I still believe that they will.
Still there. And to me, the odds increase of staying there if you sit Maniah. 888-808-1019. BT and Sound on the Fan. We'll come back. I promise, we will get to these Met calls. Hey, Jets, AG ain't playing. And he showed you why this morning. We'll get to that coming up at 11. Hey, Sal, 4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. Some drive for the performance, others for the range, and some drive them because, let's face it, you make a nice entrance when you hop in a Cadillac and you roll into a wedding or a party, whatever it might be, a ball game. 3 different ways to turn every drive into an occasion. Whatever the reason is, never been a better time to say, hey, let's take the Cadillac.
Yeah, the all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles, Escalade IQ, the Vistic, the Optic, and the Lyric. That's the car I drove last summer. It was great. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today. The BT and Sal Show is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the playoff-bound New York Mets.
It's Evan and Tiki. Afternoons on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
I wouldn't call Jackson Dart. I wouldn't even consider it.
No, me and you both.
Yes.
I told you he wouldn't play all year long.
And ideally, he wouldn't, especially after only 1 week. And that's not to exonerate Russell Wilson. He played like crap.
Listen to Evan and Tiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. So what will it take for Baltimore to get over the hump and eliminate costly mistakes? Stay the course and don't panic over a bad loss. The Ravens are still a great team, folks, and I believe that they'll be there in the end. They just need to win the games that they're supposed to win, including this weekend against Cleveland. And I do believe they'll be fine. I'm Boomer Esiason.
When you hear that a small Blizzard treat is just 85 cents in the DQ app, you might just feel like you're dreaming. 85-cent Blizzard treats. Trust us when we say you're not. But get to DQ quickly, because this dream is only a reality for so long. Hurry and get your small Blizzard treat for just 85 cents with a $1 purchase when you sign up for DQ Rewards. For a limited time at participating locations. Terms apply.
Do you have an invention idea but don't know what to do next? Call Invent Help today. We have representatives nationwide and services to showcase your invention. Get started today.
Call 1-800-217-4380. That's 1-800-217-4380.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets, but I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there. To learn more, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
It's The Road Ahead, brought to you by our local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires. The team from the Bronx continues its monstrous homestand with a big series against Detroit before heading out on the road for a big 10-game road trip.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Don't miss a moment when the Mets host the Texas Rangers. Friday, September 12th through Sunday the 14th. Prior to Saturday's game, former Mets managers and players will face off in the Alumni Classic game. The first 15,000 fans through the gate on Saturday will receive a Mrs. Met bobblehead from Cadillac. And on Sunday, the first 5,000 kids under 14 will get a lunchbox from Stop and Shop. The homestand continues with series against the San Diego Padres and Washington Nationals. Get your tickets now at Mets.com/tickets.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on The Fan.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Listen to You Better You Bet with Nick Costa Sunday morning at 8 right here on The Fan. Nick will preview all the football action and get you ready for kickoff, presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates, the injury firm. Accident victims, I understand how an accident can turn your world upside down. You're in pain. You need medical care. You can't work. You're struggling to pay your bills, and you don't have a clue what your rights are. So what do? Call the first law firm that pops up on the internet? Look for the best website? Or say, hey, find me a lawyer? The options are endless, but the answers are simple. Ask around, read reviews, and go with your gut. Great law firms build great reputations. I built D'Agostino & Associates one client at a time by doing the right thing for accident victims just like you. Our clients know my team cares, and we're going to fight to get you every dollar you deserve. So call me today at 888-24-LAW-24. That's 888-24-LAW-24. We have offices throughout New York and New Jersey, and we'll come to you. I've been there, and I'll be there for you. D'Agostino Law, bite back.
Looking for the perfect place to catch the game on Long Island? Check out Tap Room, now with 9 locations, including their newest at Station Yards in Ronkonkoma. Great food, rotating craft beer, and TVs everywhere. Plus Sunday game day drink specials, wing night Thursdays, and kids eat free Tuesdays. It's the best place for sports, food, and friends. Visit taproomofny.com to find your spot.
Catch all the play-by-play with Susan Waldman and Dave Sims. The home of Yankees radio. The Fan. On the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
I've been hearing it crushing Sean Maniah. That very well may have been the worst inning I've ever seen in my life in the Bronx last night. Good God. That was gross. All right, Wendy's Yankees turning point of the game contest. Wow. Wendy's, the official hamburger of the Yankees. First one to identify last night's turning point of the game, 866-540-WFAN. That's 866-540-9326. You'll receive not one but two pairs of tickets to an upcoming 2025 Yankees regular season game. Obviously, not many home games left, so all games matter. All from your flagship station for Yankees baseball, The Fan. It's, 10:48 on The Fan. BT and Sal, back to the calls in a moment. Maniah, Mets, what do you think? What's going to happen? Very quickly on the game last night, which got away from the Yankees, obviously very fast. Now, it's baseball, so those things are going to happen, some sloppy innings. But I did not like Aaron Boone pulling Will Warren after 91 pitches. And when you think about pitchers getting hooks maybe before they should, generally it's because they had a really long inning the inning before. He did not, all right? And I just want to make sure I had the exact amount of pitches here. His sixth inning, first pitch was a ground out. Then he had two strikeouts. So Will Warren in the sixth had 13 pitches. So he was cruising. Velo was still there. Stuff was still there. All right, pulled him early. Didn't like that. And then I thought he stuck with Cruz, who's been great, but was awful last night. I thought he stuck with Cruz too long. Yankees didn't really hit. Volpi was a mess, not getting down the bunt. Not a pretty loss at all. But my biggest issue was Warren getting pulled after 91.
BT and Sal on The Fan, 888-808-1019. The number to call. Mike is calling from Elmont. What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's up? BT, I don't know how you could watch that game last night and blame it all on Sean Manaea. I was pretty surprised that was your first take after watching that. I mean, what's up with Hagelman
He
pitching?
stinks. He's a 28-year-old rookie who gave up a 470-foot moonshot to a guy who just hit his 50th bomb. Hagelman, whatever the hell his name is, he's actually important to the team. He matters?
No, I'm saying that was my concern because, I mean, if Vientos doesn't make that bonehead play, the Mets have somewhat of a shot at the end of that game. I mean,
all right, Mike. Well, we've always said that, and thanks for the call here, Mike.
The reason why he didn't last night is because you're against a tough lefty.
A lefty, for sure.
And who, by the way, was mowing the Mets down. Like, that's my issue. If you want to go last night specifically, it's that this offense continues to get embarrassed by quality pitching as of late. That just can't happen.
The Reds, it happened against the Reds. It's happened the last four really good pitchers they faced. Yeah.
And furthermore, I don't think Aaron Nola is a good pitcher. And in that ballpark, the Mets should be able to score some runs, and they lose 1-0 in that game. So the offense, to me, remember, this is how this team was built. They were built to score runs. You don't pay $765 million to a guy and have a team be, we need Senga and Maniah. No, like, obviously those guys have not done anywhere near what they were expected to do. But this team was built to mash. Vientos off of what he did a year ago. Alonso, Lindor, Nimmo, Soto. That's where the money's at on this team, and they have not delivered.
No, they haven't. The offense has been incredibly sporadic and wildly inconsistent and really just unacceptably reliable. I mean, for the payroll and the reasons you just said. And for the resumes in that lineup. There's too many good hitters to just be this skittish. But I want Mike to understand why, and everybody, if you feel similarly to Mike, why I came out and said what I said about Maniah. Now, I grant you this. Obviously, there's other things to get into the weeds on, and you did. The Vientos play, the home run that made it 7-1, and obviously game's over at that point, or 7-2, whatever. I think it was 7-1 at that point. The 50th home run by Schwarber. Of course, Mets aren't hitting. But to me, when your offense is dormant, which it has been as we've chronicled, and your starting pitcher, who has been bad, I mean, his ERA is almost 6 since he came back from the injuries, puts up 4 runs early, even though we stabilized it, which I acknowledge, I just cannot ignore that. To me, the main reason why the Mets were down early was because Maniah was not good. That's why I focused on him.
Angel's in the Bronx. What's up, Angel?
Dude, you gotta stop hitting the snooze button and wake up. You guys are not going to the playoffs. They're not.
First of all, who's you guys? I don't understand that. Who's you guys?
So, well, primarily you have to wake up. They're not going to the playoffs.
Oh, the Mets you're talking about.
They're going to lose. Yes, the Mets are going to lose the position to one of these teams because they can't pitch, they can't hit, they can't do anything. And now they're getting too cute trying to steal all these bases, and now they finally figured out just pick them off. These guys are not going anywhere, dude. You would have thought that game where Diaz just pulled a rabbit out of his hat, or out of his shoe in this case, that would be the turning moment.
Which team do you root for? Angel, which team do you root for again?
I am a Mets fan. I love the Mets.
So then why are you calling them they, you guys? Like, okay.
I'm surprised by that. I thought I was going to hear Yankees there.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a Yankees fan.
All right.
I'm a Mets fan.
But then why'd you say you guys?
Yeah.
I'm with Sal. I'm confused by that. Were they?
Well, I'm saying you guys as in, I mean Sal. Sal needs to wake up.
Okay. Well, I did wake up today, Angel, and you know what I saw when I checked the standings? You want to educate everybody, or you want me to say
Yes, I already know.
What?
They're 2 games ahead, but they're going to lose.
Okay, but based on what? You want to get a crystal ball?
No, but you do. You apparently have one too. You think these guys are actually going to make the playoffs?
Yeah, I do. They're in it right now. There's 17 games to go.
There's no chance in hell they're going to make the playoffs, and that's where it's against McMahon. No chance in hell. You got no chance.
Okay.
They're not making the playoffs,
Okay,
bro.
and that's your opinion, Angel. That's fine. And you could base it on your reasons. I'm going to choose to go the other way. You know what the beauty of this is? We're going to find out. So you make sure that regardless, you call me back. I know I'm going to be here in a couple of weeks. At least I think. I should be here in a couple of weeks. You call back. Never know.
So
Craigie's deal's up.
Man, all right. So the worst MLB record since June 13th, right? I've got the 5 worst for you. Rockies are the worst. Twins are the second worst. Nationals, then the Mets.
Yeah.
Then the Rockies.
I know, but April and May count.
No, I'm not saying they don't. And if they didn't, then, I mean, thank God they count, because then this would be a 60. This would be like the 62
I know,
Mets at that
but
point.
here's the thing. So, like,
I know it all
for
counts.
Angel and for the people who say that the Mets aren't going to make it, you might be right. Maybe they aren't going to make it.
Yeah.
Crazier things have happened. But they played 145 games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use that in total, 145 games. They're 2 games better than the team that's chasing them, and they own the tiebreaker because they beat them head-to-head. Not to mention the pieces that they have. Like, there are legitimate reasons to believe that the Mets aren't going to choke this away. If they do, it would be an epic disaster and a collapse that would be maybe second to none, even dating back to 2007. So, but that's an if. So I'm not going to be the fool and do that today, because I don't believe that's going to be the case. Years past, I would call it how it is and think, I don't believe in it. Even last year, I didn't believe in his team. Don't believe in his team. Don't believe in his team. They go to the NLCS.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? And with the way the sport is, same thing with the Yankees. A lot of people had the Yankees buried a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
They were left for dead and buried. And now it's all of a sudden, the Yankees are going to win the division again. So that's how the sport is with almost every single team.
The parallels to last season, though, from a Mets perspective, it's just, I wish it would be more comforting if they it's the exact opposite. And
started out better and felt,
And it's impossible to quantify like what it means to be hot, because there's hot teams who have been roasted in the playoffs. Oh, this team's red hot. They're going to go on a run. Bang, first round, they're out.
It wasn't like a Giants type surge. They were hot from June
I know.
on.
It was months for sure.
Literally the best record in baseball from June, whatever it was. Yeah.
Once they promoted Grimace from Syracuse,
exactly right.
He got the cold up and they painted the chair purple, and Grimace came and dropped the first pitch. It hit the black, and the Mets were running. But no, the one thing that I don't think you can do, you can do it, but I think that it's sometimes it's even fun. But when callers, right, to call up and say the Mets cannot make the playoffs. Now, you can say the Mets will not make the playoffs
because
for whatever reason. You can say, I don't think the Mets are going to be able to get out of this because, but to say that the Mets can't, it's illogical, because even though I think you're hanging on to something that's a little flimsier than maybe you think at this point, because I don't like the way they look, but Sal is not wrong when he says that right now they're still up 2.
Yeah, even if they were down 2, they could still make the playoffs. The Giants are down 3 because they don't have the tiebreaker, but yet you think they're going to make the playoffs. Like, what sense does that make? Based on what exactly? There's 2 parts to this as well. We watch the Mets all the time. We don't watch the Giants. There's a reason why the Giants are where they are. Yeah, they're getting hot right now. They're going to have to sustain it, and the Mets are going to have to sustain losing, which they haven't, because they just swept the Phillies, took 2 out of 3 from the Braves, the Tigers. Like, they can win a series. All the Mets have to do is win a couple series here or there, and they're going to be in. They do still play I'm looking at the second wild card spot. I'd be willing to bet that the Mets are going to finish second in the wild card race, before they finish out of it. Anyway, we'll have Todd Zal, by the way, in Studio BT coming up at 12:30. Todd, of course, ahead of Alumni Day, 9/11 tomorrow. He's always doing work with the 9/11 charities and foundations, and, of course, of SNY, so he could get us up to date on the current Met stuff as well. So we'll have some fun with Todd Zal. We'll get to the Jet stuff when we come back and continue with the Met calls, 888-808-1019.
After a tough Week 1 loss to the Commanders, Big Blue is hungry, desperate, and ready to respond.
So we got to pick up, move on.
The offense is determined to strike back, and the defense is prepared to hold the line.
We bleed together, we ride together.
This week, the stage is bigger. The stakes are higher. Giants, Cowboys, one of the NFL's greatest rivalries. And this time, it's all about redemption.
We got to get ready to play Dallas and beat them.
Kickoff is 1 p.m. Sunday. The home of New York Giants football is The Fan. 101.9 FM and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hey, FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you won't want to miss. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet. Bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. You could build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. The NFL season is finally here, and the only question is, are you ready to play? Visit FanDuel.com/Boomer to download the FanDuel app today and get started. That's FanDuel.com/Boomer. Now, we all love the app around here. It is safe, secure, and when you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of WFAN.
21 and over and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, go 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Hey, football fans, tune in this week to kick off with Boomer and Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and stories from across the NFL. Kick off with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Town Fair Tire is New England's largest volume discount tire dealer with over 100 locations. So we sell Michelin tires for the guaranteed lowest price. Like Michelin tires with all-season capabilities and maximum performance. Plus, Town Fair will give you more free services for life on your Michelin tires for longer tread life and reliable traction in both wet and dry conditions. For the guaranteed lowest price on Michelin tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Partner with the business that's ready to work for yours. The Home Depot. We supply the support your job needs with the level of service your business deserves. Streamline operations and get more done with the Home Depot. How pros get more done.
Some things are hard to commit to, like learning how to surf or saving for a family vacation. But one commitment that's easy, switching to Fios Home Internet with a 5-year price lock guarantee. That means 5 great summers of fast, reliable internet at the same low price. All with the Fios 1 gig internet plan. Plus no hidden fees or equipment charges. Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch today. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for new and existing My Home customers.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Check the back seat. Check the back seat.
Gets in your head, right? Good, because every year dozens of children are forgotten in the back seat. Cars get hot fast and can be deadly, so get it in your head. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's John Gallucci Jr., President and CEO at JAG Physical Therapy. When I was a young clinician practicing as a physical therapist, I used to see people come into the clinic and say to myself, these simple injuries can all be prevented if you visit your physical therapist before the injury, such as strengthening, flexibility, balance. My physical therapist and myself are here to treat you. If you get injured with a slip or fall around the house, or you strain your low back, or you happen to hurt your knee golfing, JAG Physical Therapy has state-of-the-art facilities where our physical therapists have top-notch equipment to help you recover from your injury or illness as quick as possible and ready to go back into the game of life.
JAG is the only outpatient physical therapy and occupational therapy provider that serves the 5 boroughs, Long Island, Rockland, Westchester, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Schedule your visit today at jagpt.com. That's JAGPT.com.
Get back the life you love at Jag Physical Therapy.
Whenever water damage strikes your home or business, call on the cleanup and restoration specialists at 1-800-SERVPRO to help make it like it never even happened. That's 1-800-SERVPRO.
Franchises are independently owned and operated.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for Kids.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Talk sports with BT and Sal. Middays 10 to 2. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
And this report brought to you by Total Orthopedics. They are Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. From simple sprains and broken bones to complex sports injuries, they are the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Visit TotalOrthoExpress.com today. Yankees struggled last night in the 7th inning, lost to the Tigers 12-2. They struggled to get an out, anybody out. Detroit scored 9 runs off Fernando Cruz and Mark Leiter as they took the opener of this series. Leiter faced 4 batters, got nobody out, and Cruz the same. 5 batters recorded no outs. Tonight, Carlos Rodon will take on Jack Flaherty. Here was Aaron Judge. He did homer in this game as he moved beyond Yogi Berra on the Yankees home run list, now in 5th place.
Yeah, passing Yogi, it's pretty special. You know, all-time great Yankee. You know, what he meant to this organization. You know, even when he was done playing, you know, being around the stories we heard, he's the definition of a true Yankee. So anytime you're on a list with a guy like that, it's pretty remarkable.
We'll have the Yankees and Tigers on the Fan again tonight. Meantime, the Mets lost in Philadelphia 9-3. 4 straight losses for New York. In that game, Kyle Schwarber hit a 3-run homer, his 50th of the season. First player in the National League to get to the 50 mark this year. Not a good start for Sean Manaea. Mets hope for better from Clay Holmes tonight, who takes on Christopher Sanchez on Mets Odyssey Radio. The Mets now lead the Giants by 2 games to the 3rd wild card as San Francisco beat Arizona. Reports say the Jets and kick returner Xavier Gipson, well, he's going to be released. Giants linebacker Micah McFadden, surgery of his foot, will miss significant time. This report brought to you by Approved Oil. Visit freeztherate.com. Approved Oil has been the leading heating oil dealer in New York for over 90 years. With today's low rates, now is the time to lock in for this upcoming winter before the cold weather drives prices up. Lock in a low rate and enjoy a worry-free winter with Approved Oil. Visit freeztherate.com. It's 64 in Central Park. That's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco on WFAN, now streaming our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
BT and Sal back on the Fan. The BT and Sal show on the Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets. Some news today, BT, with the New York Jets.
I got to tell you, I don't want to revel in somebody losing their job. That's certainly not my intention here. But I absolutely love what the Jets have done with Gipson, who has been cut. I'm sure all of you know that by now. Saw the tweets, heard the updates here, Jerry and the guys in the morning. It is reinforcing what they told us they were going to do. And you're going to be accountable, and there's going to be consequences, and there's going to be a culture. And to me, now the thing that I said after the loss on Sunday, as dispiriting as it was to lose to Rodgers, to lose again, to lose in that manner, 60-yard field goal, you got to kind of get through the forest there and see the bigger issue, at least from my perspective. And what I said was they were so ready to play. No punts in the first half, no penalties in the first half, no sacks allowed in the first half, which tells me that is emblematic of a buttoned-up, focused, intense start to the season in terms of conditioning and practice. So Aaron Glenn has already, what his preachings are already starting to take root. The next thing that had to happen is if somebody who's expendable, and Gipson, no disrespect, certainly is, muffs a punt or is sloppy or is selfish with a penalty, he's got to be shown the door. I absolutely love this.
See, for me, that's why I don't think it's a big deal, because he's expendable. He's a guy that you could argue shouldn't have been on the roster in the first place. So he's sloppy with the ball as it is. He fumbles the ball, and then they make him the scapegoat. The true test to me will be if guys make stupid decisions, whether it's penalties, late hits, personal fouls, or other fumbles. Like, you can't just cut everybody when they fumble. So this player was expendable. That's why he's no longer with the team. It's not because he fumbled, because that is a dangerous practice. What, Aaron Glenn's not going to make a mistake? I thought he made a mistake calling the timeout before the 2-point conversion. Also the play design. So if you start just cutting players because of a singular mistake, you're going to have some problems. I don't think that this is the case, but then I'm also not going to reward them for saying they held the guy accountable.
Okay, well, listen, let's not be naive here. There's always different rules for different people. I'm pretty sure back in the day, like Francesca could get away with more than the weekend update guy. That's just the way it goes. The same with Breece Hall and Gipson. Breece Hall looks amazing again. He looks healthy. He's a stud. And Gipson is a dime a dozen. He's just a guy. So, I mean, the consequences will vary based on the person and the infractions.
Right.
But I don't doubt. Now, if I don't see this, I'd be a little bit disappointed. I don't doubt that, like, if it's a hold or if it's a defensive player who makes a bad judgment based on selfishness, like a late hit or just try to make himself look good to get a me play, like a sack or something, a splash play, Quincy, 15-yard penalty going out of bounds. I believe that you will see him address that like with vigor. Now, if he just ignores it, then he's not being consistent. But the messaging needs to be aggressive to the stars and the scrubs. They got to get sent packing.
And I'm sure he's already done that behind closed doors. You're not just going to cut every player for every penalty or mistake that they made. That's my point. Also, you do run the risk, while I love it, holding guys accountable, when it's drastic to cut somebody. Now, again, if Gipson was the starting punt returner, obviously you only get the opportunity because of injury. We went over that the other day. If he was the starting punt returner, I think he'd get another opportunity. If you do choose to start cutting guys because of fumble, that could also make guys tight. And then thinking, oh, crap, I'm one mistake away from it. Like, I don't know if that's the best way to get the best out of players. It's a very fine line between holding guys accountable, letting them know how they should be playing the game smart, hard, the right way, but also not just every mistake cutting guys, fire. You know what I mean? That can't
I do know
work
what you
either.
mean. Well, that's an interesting point. I mean, because you don't want to play tight, but I would imagine, first of all, Gipson has shown ball security issues before.
Yeah. He should have not been on the team.
Exactly. Yeah. Before Aaron Glenn got here, Aaron Glenn watched the tape of every player that he was inheriting and those that he wanted to go out and pursue in the draft and free agency. So he knew that he was sloppy. I'm sure that this has been a common occurrence in practice because when you have bad hands, you have bad hands. Although you have bad habits, bad hands all the time. But I want to play this for you because this, to me, God, we've been desperate for this instead of the nonsense we've been fed from, the coaches who just didn't have an ounce of leadership or presence, that just fed us nonsense and just blabbered stuff out loud. This is a man with purpose. Listen to what he said Sunday, and then we know what he did today. Go ahead, Dwayne.
The one thing to me that had to turn this game is, man, we can't have turnovers. We can't do it. We have to be a more disciplined team, right? There were some penalties that happened in that game that was true discipline issues, and again, that's something that will be addressed. You would not be on the field with this team if you're going to cause us to lose games. You're going to cause issues like that. So we will get that addressed.
I've been watching the Jets forever. The only person I heard ever sound like that was Parcells. Even Rex didn't sound like that. And Rex had success. Even Herm, who had some success early, didn't quite sound like that. That is a presence. That is an unwavering, it's my way or you're not going to be here, and I love it.
Me too.
Love it.
Me too, but it only works if the results follow. And they already lost one game. Like, they got to. And I'm not getting on them. You and I both felt that there were more positives to take away from that first week, even with the loss.
No question.
But when you're going to be like that, it only works if you have success. And I do think it was a successful week one. Eventually going to have to start winning games. Otherwise, it could go the wrong way quickly with players.
Now, you saw the Cowboys, Doc. Think about Jimmy Johnson in the early days there. They had one win. He was just get rid of guys. That's the kind of, preaching and coaching model that's fairly antiquated at this point. You got McDaniel who's trying to buddy up in the strange way with everybody down in Miami. I don't even know what he's saying. He sounds like he's on acid. There's no way that guy's got the locker room. So most of these coaches who come in now, it's either a schematical language that they think is brilliant that the players latch onto, or they just want to be buddy-buddy. There are very few people in modern sports that come in, command the room, say something, do it right away, no apologies. You're right. Now there's more runway here. We got to see where this goes. But step one, I'm happy.
100%. He's a football coach. We just
He's
hope
a
the
man.
results follow. BT and Sal on the Fan. Back to the Mets calls, 888-808-1019. Started the show talking about the Mets in the midst of throwing away that playoff position. I'm not worried yet. Anthony's in Fort Lauderdale. What's up, Ant?
How you guys doing this morning?
What's up, Ant?
First-time caller, long-time listener. You guys got a great show. Just want to give you guys props on that.
Appreciate it.
I do want to say this. You know, I'm not one of these emotional guys. I love my team. I'm a Mets fan since the early 70s, so I've lived through a lot, okay? But I don't get too carried away with the emotions. I look at numbers to a certain extent. I'm not really a numbers guy. I go by the eye test typically.
Yep.
And I do see that, you know, this team has a tendency to make guys like Aaron Nola look like Tom Seaver, and it does worry me a little bit, okay? But I do want to say, I can say this, and this is a fact, which is not speculation or anything.
Go ahead.
In order for them to win 89 games, which is what they did last year, they have to go 13-4 over the next 17 games.
Correct.
Yeah, that's not happening.
No. Not happening.
So we know we can realistically say the regular season has been a failure.
I think based on last year, Sal, based on the number from last year.
Yeah, but who cares once they get in? And by the way,
I agree. Anything can happen. Anything can happen in the playoffs. Sal's right about that.
Well,
that's why I'm holding out some hope.
Well, but
however, can we realistically say the regular season has been a failure?
Yes.
I wouldn't say failure. I would just say disappointment.
Yeah, if they don't
Failure's not the word that I would use.
Right, because if they make the postseason, it can't be a total failure. Here's the way that I would say it. Even though I didn't necessarily expect the Mets to win the division before the year started, I definitely thought the Mets would be a better team than they were last year. And
so did I.
And they have not definitively done that. Also, to an extent where the playoffs is such a crapshoot, and I hate to say that because it's such an excuse for these teams where it really shouldn't be that way. The Yankees have been using that excuse for a long time. The Mets are going to use that as, just get in and anything can happen. But it's not an excuse. It's the reality of the sport. However, I would guess, let's say the Mets win coming into this year, 95, 98 games. Okay, better than last year's team. But who's to say that they couldn't be ousted in the first round like the Phillies or the Braves were the year before?
Yeah.
That would, just because they would have had a better regular season in my mind didn't mean they would have gone as far as they went last year because they went pretty damn far last year.
I agree. The only thing that I would say on that, like when you win, 95, 98 games, generally, I don't know how to phrase it. So the 87s, 88s, 89 wins, all right, third playoff team, whatever. All right, that to me, there's, you benefit from the additional wild card and the watered-down version of the playoffs. But generally, if you win that few games, quote-unquote few games,
right,
generally you have some real problems on the team, either inconsistencies or injuries or both, right? At least if the Mets would have won like 98 games this year and say if they got bounced early, I think there would have been enough favorable storylines like throughout the year where I think I'd feel a lot better about their future. I'm not saying that their future's bleak. I'm not saying that at all. But, do you really know... Vientos has picked it up, so he gets a little bit of a different life. But how many guys right now on the team, and again, a deeper discussion for down the road, but at least on the cursory level, you can answer it. How many guys on the team now that are primary fixtures are here in 2 years?
Well, I think there's going to be a complete, even if they... Now, I was going to say even if they have success in the postseason, but deemed success. What would be successful at this point?
Honestly, for the Mets to get to the World Series, because that's the expectation. It's not different than the Yankees.
Right, so then if they get to the World Series, is there still going to be significant change? I get the feeling that regardless of the result of this year, there is going to be significant change. I think David Stearns wants to put more of his imprint on the team, whether that means moving.
Is that a good thing? Some of the moves he's been making, is that good?
Oh, I don't know.
You trust him?
I don't know. It's been year two. I think he's made some mistakes. I think he's made some good moves.
Mullins bomb. I know there's a long list here. The Mullins thing, but there's a lot of moves that he's made. I think he's made more bad moves than good moves.
Last year he had he took a team to the NLCS, and this year is still incomplete.
Okay, but he took a team. To me, that's misleading. He signed Maniah, which was a big piece of the puzzle.
Severino
and Sevy, and he got Iglesias off the scrap heap, signed him to a minor league deal, which obviously fortified their bench, and he played a lot too. So I'm not saying he had no imprint on the season, but to say that he led them to the NLCS to me is a bit strong.
Well, he was the GM.
He didn't build the team. He didn't bring Lindor, didn't bring in Pete, didn't bring in McNeil, didn't bring in Nimmo, didn't bring in Diaz.
But then he didn't build this team either.
I agree.
Okay, so then that's what I'm saying.
But the changes, he didn't build this team, but the reconstruction of this team, which he did do, has not proven to be, I think, as good as Met fans were thinking he might do.
But it's basically the same group of guys that they had last year.
Yes, but, and we could actually do this some other point. Don't you think there's been more misses than makes this year from him? I do. Montas, colossal miss.
That was just a, come on.
By the way, Tommy John out, $17 million wasted next year. I don't know what he's doing with that.
I'd actually prefer that. Not that you want to see guys get hurt, but I don't want to see him pitch ever again for the Mets.
I hear you.
And maybe they get the insurance money back. Like, I don't know how that'll work. It was a horrible signing from the get-go.
No.
That's a terrible mistake, strike one. I don't think he did enough at the deadline. Everybody else was praising him. I don't think he did enough at the deadline. I can't blame him for Helsley. Rogers has been terrific, so it's not Rogers.
No, but Mosley. Mullins and Helsley. I mean, neither's done anything.
Yeah, I get it. I mean,
that's 0 for 2. Montas 0 for 3 this year. I mean,
to me, they weren't aggressive enough. The results may vary in the players. I can't nitpick and say you got Helsley and he's not good. Helsley was one of the best arms. Was he the best? Would I rather have Duran? I would rather have had Duran.
What about Bednar? You'd probably rather have him too.
Yeah, Bednar. Yeah, he's a good one. He's a name that I did bring up. Yeah, I mean, Bednar, you'd rather have him. So either way, yeah, you could nitpick, sure. So back to, I think it was the last call we were just saying about like the win total, right? Mm-hmm. The Mets right now are what, 76 wins?
76 wins.
Okay, 76 wins with 17 to play.
Okay.
If we do a little math here, see, because everybody's going, well, since June 13th and blah, 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 blah. They've lost 4 games in a row. Yeah. But unless I'm doing this on the fly as we're trying to do it here. I'm pretty sure that over the last 23 games, 12 plus 11 is 23. I'm pretty sure that I added this up right. The Mets are 12 and 11 in their last 23 games.
That sounds about right.
Okay.
Because they swept the Phillies prior.
But that's also not like the world is falling. They're collapsing away. Now, it's not in accordance with their record was to start the year.
Nor the expectations.
It's 100%. Oh, that's already gone. But it's also not the dip that we saw, which was horrific from June 13th.
Like the Pirates, like that Pirates series.
Well,
I agree.
Yeah, or when they were, having pitchers that couldn't go out there and give you 4 innings, let alone 5 or 6 innings. Mm-hmm. Anyway, point is, if they then play the rest of the way a game over 500, do you not think that that's going to be enough? And remember,
that would be what, 9 wins there? All right, so 76. So you're talking about 85 wins?
That's what I mean. Like
that's cutting it pretty close, man.
All right, but that's
those Giants are hot, Sal.
But that's doing what they've done right now.
I'm going to make a prediction. If the Mets win 85, Mets ain't going to the playoffs.
So you think it's going to take 86?
I think it might even take 87.
Okay, but even with that, so then they have to go 11 and 6. Then the Giants would have to go what if the Mets won 11 and 6?
13 and 4.
Yeah.
They got to do 2 games better. No, they'd have to go 3 games better because the Mets have the tiebreaker. Correct. So, I mean, that's quick math. I think I got it.
So that's not happening. So but I think if the Mets win 10 more games, I think if they go 10 and 7 over the final 17, they're going to get in. And there's reason to believe that they could do that because, like I said, their recent stretch, last 23, including losing 4 in a row, assuming my math is right here, it's still over 500.
Yeah, but if they go 10 and 7, then that means something that you're still holding hope out for, which I don't think is going to happen. I don't think there's any, well, I'm not going to say any. I don't think it's incredibly likely at all that they catch the Padres. You've said that you think they can.
No, they have to do better than that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If they go 10 and 7, they did not catch the Padres, which means they're the third wild card, which means they won 85, 86 games. And that is just... That's not good.
Well, no, but getting to the playoffs.
You can't win something, but come on, 85 wins. But we already $50 million payroll.
All I care is about getting in.
I understand that, but all I heard off season was the Mets are going to do this, and the Mets are going to do that. The Mets, here we are. You hope they don't bleed out like they have in the past.
I know, but that's all hypotheticals and what ifs. They didn't have a great regular season.
Well, it's not a hypothetical because they're not playing well now.
Okay,
it's a hypothetical to say that it will continue.
Ultimately, they're not going to be judged on what they do in the regular season. It doesn't matter as long as they get in. Well, ultimately, they will, because they could have won 100 games and lost in the first round. And what would you say? Well, they had a great regular season? No, you'd be like, this team, the payroll, they're supposed to win the World Series. So that's still possible. Whether you win 102, whether you win 85, if you're in, you're in.
One thing I don't think I'll ever say about any team in New York, all right, with the Yanks or the Mets, I don't think I'm ever going to say again. I have said this in the past. I don't think you'll ever hear me say the Yankees or the Mets should win the World Series.
Right.
Because it's changed too much to have that definitive confidence. Back in the day, Yankees should win the World Series. 86, Mets, you should win the World Series. I think that day's over.
Right, but it's also just about the postseason.
I understand that. But no, I know. That's why I always say to you, Sal, I say it's layered, it's nuanced, and it is. And it's almost like we could have 2 or 3 different conversations. All I'm trying to do is keep the thread, which I will do, of possibility that the Mets could still achieve their goals.
Right.
That avenue's still open. I'm not trying to be unfair or obtuse or just dumb, but I mean, 85, 86 wins is not what I thought, and it's certainly not what I heard all winter what the Mets would be this year.
No,
that is an underachievement.
Agreed. It would be a bad regular season. What does that mean? Absolutely nothing. Well, they won 101 games 3 years ago. And what was your result at the end of that year?
They were in and out. That was the Padres, right?
Yeah. The regular season was great, but they weren't that good. Oh, they won 101 games. But they lost in the first round. It's all about the playoffs now in baseball. Same thing with the Yankees. Yankees could come back and miraculously win their division, which, by the way, they should have won to begin with. But they could come back and win the division even after last night. And if they lose in the first round, is anybody going to say, well, they had a good ride in the regular season and somehow won the division when we all thought they were dead?
I wouldn't say that because the Yankees season's been too disjointed. It's been too uneven. Like if the Yankees won 102 games and they lost a hard fought, even if they lost to a team that they were heavily favored to beat, like a team from the Central, whatever, to me it would be met with great skepticism. You can't, like, a couple of things that you can't do. Well, I'm not going to say either team should win or will win, I don't think, ever again in my life because baseball's changed. There will be certain series where I'll say the Yankees should win or the Mets should win, and if they don't, then it's okay to crush them. And there's also certain situations, and it applies to both of these teams this year, although the Mets more, that you just didn't do during the regular season what I thought that you would do. It's okay to say that. Like the Mets, This is a new day for the Mets here. This is a new awakening. This is the Mets morphing into the Yankees, the Dodgers trying to. And I've always said, and I say it with a smile, but it's always been, laced with seriousness, the crown is heavy. And when I'm told all year the Mets are going to do this and that, and you're struggling to win 85, 86 games and be that last wild card team, it has not been a good regular season, although I know what you're going to say. It doesn't mean that you can't achieve the goals.
Yeah, but I don't understand. Who told you this?
Who told me what?
That the Mets were going to do all this.
Well, I heard all winter was that the Mets were going to, the Yankees, the Mets, the this, the that, the payroll, the Soto. Yeah. Here you're trying to scrap out a wild card.
Okay.
That's impressive.
But I'm still confused as to what you're saying.
What?
Did you think the Mets were going to win the division?
I did not.
Okay, most people didn't.
No.
So they're not going to win the division.
But I didn't think they'd be stuck here with 15, 17 games to go, fighting for their life, trying to get the last wild card. Which if baseball didn't throw you a life preserver years ago and give you a third wild card, you wouldn't even be a playoff team this year.
Okay, but the rules are what they are.
I understand
go back and say that,
but it doesn't mean that it's there's levels of achievement. Let's not dull this down to the point where, I mean, if the Mets get in,
just keep the same energy with the Yankees. I'm fine with that.
I always do. I always do. Keep the same energy.
Did you expect the Yankees to win the division?
I do.
Did you expect?
When do I go easier on the Yankees? Okay. I always go hard on the. I just crushed Boone last night for taking out Will Warren.
No, but you said the Mets have had it worse than the Yankees, but yet you didn't think the Mets would win the division coming in.
I didn't think the Yankees would win the division either. I said the same thing
before the start of the year.
That's what. Yes.
You didn't think the Yankees were going to win the division before the start of the year?
The best thing, and sometimes the worst thing for you and I, is Google. Yeah. Because there are receipts. And everything that I said going into the season, I'm like, you know what? Honestly, and you were saying that the Yankees should win. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not going to say the Yankees should win the division. I don't know if I don't feel that way.
Maybe.
No, I didn't say like, no, they won't. Like it wasn't like this bullshit that the Yankees won't win 89 games and not be that good. But it was never, ever like, oh yeah, the Yanks will win the East. They always do. I was very, and I've always said that in years past. This year I didn't take the bait because I didn't think that they were as good as some people thought.
BT and Sal on the Fan. More your calls when we come back. 888-808-1019. Guys, by now you've heard me talk about Collars & Co., makers of the dress collar polo. They've already sold over 1 million of these amazing shirts. Well, Collars & Co. just came out with the new Maverick Performance Blazer. This blazer's sharp and wrinkle-resistant so you can travel anywhere with it. Just throw it in your bag and it will remain wrinkle-free. It even comes with security zip pockets, a sunglasses loop, and an optional pocket square. So visit collarsandco.com and check them out today.
Swing on a drive deep to left. Got a chance. Giddy up, baby.
The Yankees meet up with the Tigers. 7:05 tonight. Driven by Jeep.
And it is gone.
That was an extraordinary play.
Susan Waldman and Dave Sims call all the play-by-play on the home of Yankees baseball. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
We could tell you what it's like to drive the Nissan Rogue and tell you all about its performance capabilities, like its VC turbo engine. It's I can go virtually anywhere type of freedom. Nice. But you don't have to take our word for it. Go drive it for yourself. You're up. Experience the power of the Nissan Rogue.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Get 0% APR for 60 months on the 2025 Nissan Rogue, Pathfinder, or Murano. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. For well-qualified buyers, example, 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to Nissan Motor Acceptance Company credit approval, not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends September 30th, 2025.
Let's go! You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When your name's on the paint job, your primer better hold up. Painters trust Kills primers for serious adhesion, stain blocking, and a finish that lasts. Now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same day or next day delivery, or order online and pick it up in store. Kills primers. Pro results. Faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
Oh no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
my debit card.
Their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone and... that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Town Fair Tire has the area's largest inventory of name brand tires at discount prices, including Michelin tires, which give you the perfect match. A relaxing driving experience from your vehicle, along with all-season design for superior performance that stands out from the crowd. And Town Fair stands out from other dealers with a guaranteed lowest price on Michelin tires and gives you more free services for life than anywhere. Nobody beats a Town Fair tire deal. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Talk New York sports on The Fan.
Every NFL touchdown can bring you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, score over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WFAN. That's code WFAN to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first $5 bet. Plus, over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. 21 and over. New York only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
Rainy and windy, high of 69 degrees.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Some things are hard to commit to, like learning how to surf or saving for a family vacation. But one commitment that's easy, switching to Fios Home Internet with a 5-year price lock guarantee. That means 5 great summers of fast, reliable internet at the same low price. All with the Fios 1 gig internet plan. Plus no hidden fees or equipment charges. Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch today. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for new and existing My Home customers.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey Yankees fans, come out to Yankee Stadium on Friday, September 26th when the Yankees host the division rival Orioles for a great promotional giveaway. It's Yankees Jersey Hoodie Night, presented by Star Insurance. The first 18,000 guests in attendance will receive a Yankees Jersey Hoodie. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com/tickets. Don't miss Yankees Jersey Hoodie Night when the Yankees face the Baltimore Orioles on Friday, September 26th. Visit Yankees.com/tickets today.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
All right, BT and Sal back on the Fan 11:31. Back to the calls here. Hey, caller 10 though. right now at 866-540-WFAN. That's 866-540-9326. You get a chance to see a pair of tickets to see Mike Tyson. Return of the Mike Tour. Coming to Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. You give Mike a microphone, and you basically just sit back, bang back a few drinks, and watch Mike be Mike. It's pretty good. It's in Atlantic City, January 23rd, from our friends at the Hard Rock Hotel in Atlantic City.
BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019. The number to call. Let's get back to the calls on the Mets. We've talked about the Mets so far. Check it out on the free Odyssey app. We've also discussed the Jets and their decision to cut Gipson after he fumbled the football on Sunday. We'll get more into the Jets and Giants games. Obviously, and we can do so later, BT. It is already Wednesday. The week's flying by here. But certainly tomorrow, and then, of course, Friday, we look forward to seeing these two teams if they could actually get on the board with a win. Mentioned some Yankees as well. Nick is calling from Bergen County about those Yanks. What's up, Nick?
Hey, Sal, BT. I'm calling about Grissom swinging 3-0 with 2 outs, 2 men on, Judge on deck. How come Boone is not giving him the takes on there?
Because no manager does anymore. I don't like it. You don't like it. We don't understand it. That's baseball. Especially for a guy who's got 30 bombs and just crushes fastballs and generally has a good sense of what he's looking for and generally doesn't expand the zone when he gets a hitter's count. The game's changed, Nick. That's really that's the bottom line. That's the answer.
Crazy.
You know what, and don't go. I wouldn't go based off the results.
Thanks,
and thanks for the call, Nick. See, again, I'm not. If you're a believer of you always take on 3-0, that's fair. You could be a believer of that. The game. I used to be a believer of that. The game has changed so much so now that you feel like 3-0. If they throw you a fastball down the middle, you got to hammer it. Especially to your point. I know it's Judge on deck. You're frustrated with the result as opposed to maybe the idea. Nick maybe has the idea that you always pass on 3-0. I would not have that philosophy anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, you're very consistent with a thought process not based on results. I give you that. You are committed to something independent of the result, but more the strategy before.
Yeah, because you can't just always go based off the result. If I feel like it was the wrong move, whatever, bringing in this pitcher to face this batter.
Starting Sean Manaea.
Starting Sean Manaea. Or we talked about it with Mendoza last 2 nights ago with pinch hitting Acuna. Like, it's not just because of the result that happened. It's the idea of pinch hitting. If Acuna laced a double there, my theory still would have been, that's great. Now, it wouldn't have been magnified maybe because the game could have changed, but my theory still would have been he's not a pinch hitter. He's a guy that you want to have on the bench and save him for that spot. So I know that's a unique example, but it's a
good one. But the reason why you should remain married to that, and you do, because if you do that 10 times, you will think the results would bear itself out in a non-favorable way, which is why you don't like him pitch hitting in that spot at the outset.
Correct. Same way, like, hey, don't chuck that 3 from 10 feet beyond the 3-point line. But I hit it, coach.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but
still a bad shot.
Yeah, it's a bad shot in theory, regardless of the result. Jerry is calling from the Bronx. What's up, Jerry?
Hey, Jerry.
Jerry! It's been a while.
BT, how do you do?
How do you do, Jerry boy? Where you been, man?
Really? Where you been?
I'm in Boca now.
Oh, tough life, Jerry.
No, I'm hanging out by the pool. I said, you know what? I'm going to call Sal and BT and break their shoes.
Go ahead. What do you got for us, Jerry?
Let me tell you something. The bottom of the Yankee lineup is killing us. The top of the lineup right now is hitting amazing. They're not great right now, but they went through a phase where they were hitting amazing. Between Wells, McCann, and Volpi at the bottom of that lineup, I mean, come on, the on-base percentage, if they're hitting 200, Sal, BT, if they're hitting 200, what's their on-base, 150?
Well, no, the on-base is 270 in the neighborhood for both Wells and Volpi, which is terrible.
Yeah, it's horrible. And not only that, as far as the Mets are concerned, out of the two teams, they're the more disappointing team. I mean, they have to be. They were expecting more from them this year. I mean, you got Soto and Sal. The whole year you were bothering me. I couldn't even listen to you. Soto was this, Soto's going to do that. But when he was with the Yankees and he first started out, he's an on-base guy. I want him to swing in that position.
No. Jerry, selective listening. Jerry, and thank you for the call. I've loved Soto all along. What I said was in that particular spot. As a matter of fact, I even said, if And when Soto signs with the Mets, because I believed he was going to, if he doesn't swing the bat in that spot, it would drive me nuts. That's what I was talking about, specifically to the Mets, because they didn't also have Aaron Judge behind him in his lineup. Whereas if Soto passes the baton, at least you have Judge. With the Mets, it was Alonso. So you're going back well over a year ago.
Cherry picking some old takes here, sitting by the pool, doing Lord knows what. Real quick, though, I hear you on the bottom third of the Yankee lineup. Volpi has been an absolute disaster any way you cut it. McMahon he's actually been okay lately. He's a great fielder. Austin Wells has been hitting. That's where I'm going to tell you you're wrong there, Jerry. Last 30 days, he's got a 900 OPS. You watch Austin Wells, got a couple of home runs, some ribbies. Now, it's a different conversation. Has he been the player that I necessarily thought he would be in totality? The answer is no. But the last 30 days, if you want to assign levels of culpability to that bottom third of the order, it's not accurate to say that Wells is not hitting because he's one of the few guys hitting down there.
Even McMahon started to look like he was coming out of it a little bit.
He was.
But the problem is he's just a strikeout machine. Ben is calling from Marlboro. What's up, Ben?
Sal, how you doing? BT, how you doing?
Hey, Sal. Hey, Ben.
Sal, I heard all year, you talking about Maniah. You're not too high on him. He has a pretty decent start the other night, and now we're feeling pretty good. But I heard Friday you come after Yankees fans for trusting Carlos Rodon, and you and BT getting into it over him not being as fearful as Rodon. But Rodon's had much more of a consistent season this year than Maniah. So can you just rationalize that for me, please?
Well, I don't think you're not explaining it right. First of all, they're two different things. So if you were asking my thoughts on Carlos Rodon, here's what I would say to you, Ben, and I want you to listen up. Carlos Rodon has had a fantastic season. He is better than Sean Manaea. I would not trust him in the postseason. Second point, I said weeks ago I would have sent Maniah to the bullpen. So I don't know, where are you getting your information from exactly?
Do you trust Maniah more in the postseason than you would trust Rodon in the postseason?
I don't trust either of them in the postseason right now.
Would you trust?
Go ahead.
Would you trust Maniah in the postseason more than you would trust Rodon in the postseason? Because what it sounds like today, you have tons more faith in Maniah than you do in Rodon.
But what are you basing that off of? Listen to what I'm saying. I told you I would have put Maniah in the bullpen weeks ago because I think he could be a weapon. To me, last night was his best start. Was it good? No. Obviously, nobody wants 5 innings from your supposed ace and giving up 4 runs. What I said was it was his best start. Look it up. It has been. It was encouraging at least. But would I trust him in the postseason? Out of the bullpen, yes. I'd like to see another spot from him now. I don't trust Carlos Rodon. Who do I trust more? Obviously, right now, Rodon has had the better season. He's had the better career, as a matter of fact, Carlos Rodon.
He has.
I don't know. Does that tickle your fancy for me?
What are you, Benny Hill?
I don't understand. I was going to say tickle something else, but I don't want to get graphic here. They're like, what? It's not a Met Yankee thing, and you're not listening. That's the problem that a lot of people have. Matter of fact, Pete, take it a step further. On social media, we can post a clip, or the digital guys post a clip. People don't even listen or watch the clip, and they comment.
Yeah, I know. It's fun. I have noticed that. So I don't really dive into that stuff too much. Sometimes it gets sent to me or whatever. Or sometimes I'll even repost it. Like I reposted some stuff with our Jets takes for Monday, whatever. And sometimes I'll say, all right, let me see how are Sal and I getting crushed today in the comments, right? And I'll just read it just so I can laugh to myself because I really don't care. And I'll see a clown emoji or it'll say 2 clowns. Meanwhile, we had completely opposite takes, which tells me you didn't watch the video.
Right. In this particular case, it is a clear Yankee fan who was sensitive to it. I'm not when am I praising Maniah? Saying that it was his best start last night is not saying much. Look at the game log. And also, there's a different level. Look at what Carlos Rodon's making, by the way. Look what Rodon's making. So if we're going to hold the Mets and their payroll in accordance to their expectations, which you should, then shouldn't we hold Rodon and his contract a little bit higher as far as expectations go than what Sean Manaea is making? He was making peanuts compared to Carlos Rodon.
You should. And we should, and we have.
And by the way, who was better last year? Sean Manaea was better last year than Rodon. Now,
half the season better. I have to look at the whole numbers there. Rodon's year, actually, let's do this real fast. Rodon's second year was pretty good.
Yeah.
The first year was awful for all the reasons we hit. Year 2, he started to show some signs. We were obviously slow to praise because we were pissed off from year 1. But Rodon had a lot of strikeouts. He had some wins. You pull up Manaea real quick.
Yeah.
Now, I know Manaea's final 18 starts were terrific. I'm just curious, though.
To me, it's not going to be about the numbers.
I hear you. I'm just curious.
The dominance from Manaea once he turned the corner to me, was better than what we saw from Rodon.
I would agree with that. No, there was definitely a more extended dominant stretch from Maniah. Yeah. Although, don't forget, the first start by Rodon in the playoffs last year was very good.
What was the ERA for Rodon?
I'm pulling this up now. Okay, so Rodon is a little slow. All right, so let me see. Stats. I can't stand when this doesn't work. Here we go. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
3.96. What was Maniah's ERA?
3.47.
Okay, so, and again, largely because of the body of work when he changed his windup, which is
Maniah had a good year last year.
I know he did.
And then he was dominant. He finished 11th in Cy Young voting.
3.96. How many innings did Maniah pitch?
181.
Okay, here we go. So 175 for Rodon, basically the same. How many walks did Maniah have?
63.
Okay, so Rodon had 57, so slight advantage Rodon. How many strikeouts?
184.
195 for Rodon. Advantage Rodon. What was the whip?
1.084.
Okay, advantage Manaea 1.22.
Yeah. I mean, to me, Maniah was better last year. But again, Rodon's had the better career, and Rodon's had the better season this year. I still don't trust him in the postseason based off of what he did last year. Not because I grew up a Met fan. Holy crap. Holy crap. Got me. Sorry, the Met fan said Maniah is better. He had a great start last night. Like, I literally never said he had a great start. What I said was it's his best start, sadly, since he's been back. Sadly.
Yeah.
Good God.
The other thing that you're saying, which I do think is nuts, is that you would still run him out there. And I'm saying sit him on the bench. Give me the other 5 guys. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them.
Only because I don't think they have better options. It's worth another look. And because I'm more encouraged from his final 3 innings last night than I've been before.
888-808-1019, BT and Sal on the Fan. Brandon, Tierney, Sal, the Cotta Show. Back to the calls. We got a little 3RQ coming up. Todd Zal's in studio. We'll talk about those Mets. Hey, congrats, John Bennett from Staten Island. All right, John, you want a pair of tickets to see Mike Tyson coming to the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino at AC on January 23rd. That'll be nice. Escape the doldrums of winter. Get away for the night. Maybe you bring your wife, your girl, your guma. I was watching the Sopranos clips this morning, Sal, so got to throw a little guma in there. Anyway, from our friends at the Hard Rock Hotel, Atlantic City. Tickets on sale this Friday at 10 at Ticketmaster.com. Tune in. Evan and Tiki got you covered as well. Another chance to win those tickets.
It's Boomer and Gio. Mornings on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
You're getting quite possibly the best offensive game that Justin Fields has played in his NFL career.
I went back and looked at some of this stuff.
And your defense was that bad that you couldn't win this game?
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute sponsored by Chumba Casino, your online casino for plays, spins, and a chance to score. Must be 21 and over. Terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Geno Smith and Chip Kelly lit it up in their Raiders debut, delivering explosive plays and a high-risk, high-reward offense. Smith threw for 362 yards, thriving in Kelly's motion-heavy play-action system. Though pressure led to sacks and a pick, Smith's aggressive style kept the Raiders in scoring range. It's not perfect, but the Raiders are must-watch football. I'm Maggie Gray.
Ready to kick off the fun? Chumba Casino is your go-to game plan during halftime or overtime. From spinning slots to instant scratch-style cards, it's like running the perfect play, all from home. New players score a free welcome bonus and daily logins with a shot at some serious prizes every time you play. Get in the game and visit ChumbaCasino.com today. Let's Chumba. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
Lowe's knows that free makes everything better. That's why Rewards members get free standard shipping starting at Silver Key or Gold Pro status. Not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/shipping. Terms subject to change.
Hey, it's Tiki. Are you looking to enhance your home experience? Discover the new Sloman's Shield Link, the ultimate all-in-one ecosystem for integrating your smart devices with the Sloman's Shield. Sloman's Shield Link takes everyday routines and actions based on your preferences and connects other devices to react based on your actions. Imagine arriving at home at night and your lights, favorite music, and TV turn on as you enter your home. Whether you want your thermostats to turn down when you turn on your alarm or automatically lock your doors and ensure your security lighting is on. These scenarios are a reality with the Sloman ShieldLink integration platform. The Sloman's ShieldLink is compatible with devices you already have in your home. Sloman's includes installation for all devices. Plus, they offer 24/7 support. Whether you need to troubleshoot a problem or want to add programming, you can call at any time. Embrace the future of home living by calling 1-800-ALARM-ME today or visit SlomanShieldLink.com to get the Sloman's ShieldLink.
Get ready for the concert event of the summer. On the road again. Catch Willie Nelson and family. Bob Dylan. Sheryl Crow. And more at the Outlaw Music Festival's 10th anniversary tour. Saturday, September 13th, PNC Bank Arts Center. Get access to preferred tickets with your Citi card. For tickets and more, go to LiveNation.com and OutlawMusicFestival.com.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on the Fan.
FanDuel's getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you won't want to miss. New customers can bet $5 and get $300 back in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. Build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines. Whatever your style is, FanDuel's got you covered. The NFL season is officially here and back. The only question is, are you ready to play? Visit FanDuel.com/BT and download the FanDuel app today and get started. That's FanDuel.com/BT. We love the app around here. It is safe and secure, and when you win, get paid right away. FanDuel's the official partner of us here at WFAN. 21 plus and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Hey, Connecticut, if you want name brand tires at the guaranteed lowest price and the most free services, then get to Town Fair Tire. Because nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire. Hey everyone, Boomer here. I had a tomahawk steak last night that was absolutely cooked to perfection. Now, you already know how it was done with the Chef IQ Sense, the wireless thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking your chicken, fish, or meat, whether you're cooking on a stovetop, oven, or grill. It is built to withstand extreme heat, and the app alerts you when to take the steaks off the grill and even when to flip them. Order the newly released 3rd generation Chef IQ Sense right now at chefiq.com and make sure to put the code word Boomer in for 20% off.
Run or walk with Giants legends. The Giants Foundation will host a 5K race and kids run presented by Quest on Sunday, October 26th at 9 a.m. at MetLife Stadium. Net proceeds will benefit the Giants Foundation. All participants will receive a commemorative t-shirt, and after the race, stay for a post-race festival with appearances by Giants legends and a live DJ. Register now at Giants.com/5K. The Giants Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit corporation.
Luxury just got tripled with Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Mercedes-Benz of Union, and Ray Cattina of Freehold. 3 powerhouse locations in New Jersey. 1 legendary name, Ray Cattina. More inventory, featuring one of the East Coast's largest selections of new and pre-owned Mercedes-Benz vehicles. More convenience with 3 state-of-the-art service centers to keep your Mercedes-Benz running like new. And of course, legendary Ray Cattina customer service, where you always come first. Experience the power of 3 at BenzFam.com.
A good question. 3 random questions.
Let's find out.
With Brendan Tierney and Sal Licata.
1, 2, 3.
On the Fan.
Hi, BT. 3 random questions sponsored by the Rothenberg Law Firm. Injured? Visit injurylawyer.com. Let me just clear my throat right there.
Let me clear my throat.
All right, number 1. Would you want to own a famous house?
A famous house that is just like an investment property or where I actually live?
No, like you live.
Oh, I know where you're going with this. No, not necessarily. No.
Yeah, I mean, I think the idea of it sounds cool. Like, oh, the house from a Christmas Story or Miracle on 30.
Full House in San Francisco when they used to have that shot.
Exactly that. Or the Home Alone house.
Yeah, and Sopranos.
The Sopranos house. So I went this weekend to go see that Sopranos house.
See Tony picking up the paper with the slippers and the robe?
No, but now I'm assuming you've driven past this house before? Yeah. Did you take any pictures or anything? Okay.
Did you?
I didn't, only because I had Sammy in the car seat and I was by myself. But I am thinking that maybe I could go reenact, one of the scenes or whatever, take a picture.
Reenact a scene where you throw an empty orange juice container at your wife?
No,
wait, Carmella threw it at him, I think.
No, I could just walk down the driveway in the bathrobe,
Getting the Bergen record or the
with
whatever
the white tank top on. Yeah, exactly. But there is a sign there. It's like no loitering, violators will. And then I was thinking, man, like, obviously, I'm not the only person to do it, and I saw another person. This was like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody else is driving by. It's a dead end or a cul-de-sac or whatever.
It is.
So I guess the reason behind this question is that could be annoying. It's cool in that, like, yeah, I live in this house. I walk up this driveway. I drive the driveway that was in The Sopranos, but also I got people coming all over the place every day.
Wouldn't want that. No, I would not want that. That's intrusive. That could be dangerous as well. I mean, no interest in that.
That's what I mean. You think that devalues the house where they try to go to sell it?
No.
I would be annoyed to a point where I don't want anybody around.
I heard it jacked up. I'd have to double check. Somebody told me that it was when it was put on the market. I don't want to talk out of school here, but I think it went over for 150 or 200,000 over the initial asking price, and this was a while ago. Like most now, everything's going that much over the asking price, depending upon where you are.
Right, but then if the people live there this long, they're like, I can't deal with this anymore.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's the same group, if it's the same family. It might be. Maybe it's changed hands. No, that does not. I don't want. Listen, you watch Knicks games in my backyard.
Yeah.
I want to know that I'm in the yard and nobody's snapping up looking for Sill or Big Pussy or somebody else.
But if you do buy that house, you probably should be understanding that there are going to be people that A, want to drive by, and maybe B, get out and take a picture.
I agree.
Would you be okay with that?
I wouldn't buy the house then. No, I wouldn't buy the house. Like, those are people, and it's obviously okay with them, and they've made that predetermination.
They do have that sign up. It scared me. Like, I drove back.
Yeah, but you get scared of non-venomous snakes and birds.
I follow the rules.
I follow the rules.
I'm a rule follower.
Okay.
It had the sign out there. I don't want to be prosecuted or violate
to the
anything.
full extent of the family.
So I didn't get out of the car, but I did drive by like 3 times. So is this the right?
Did you play the music?
Of course I did.
Did you play the music?
Of course
you
I
did. Nice. Woke up this morning.
Sammy's in the back going, Disney songs. Disney songs. Going, shut up, Sammy.
Got myself a gun. Bam, 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 bam. And we'll listen to Moana in a little bit there, honey. Daddy's reenacting some crazy part of his world that he still loves.
I did. I got into the moment. Now I got to go back without her. Of course, I could really get the feel of it. Number 2, it has been brought to my attention.
I'll tell you a quick brother.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have actually pumped that. So, of course you do, the opening montage when he's initially going, well, before that, when he's going through the Lincoln Tunnel.
Yeah.
I used to play the music, and I would actually, it would start like, the part that I love the most would just start to hit as I'm coming out of the Lincoln Tunnel going into Jersey. What a bunch of weirdos we are.
I mean, if you're going to drive past the house, you got to do it. Same thing if I go to like the Holden shop. I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to do it. All right, number 2. It has come to my attention that Mike Tyson is in fact going to be in studio on Friday. I don't know if that's like definite yet.
With us or with the guys down the hall?
No, with the morning show.
Okay, there you go.
And would it, like, usually I would just be like, hey, whatever, man, and moving on. But like Mike Tyson?
Mm-hmm.
You think it would be appropriate to ask for a picture
100%.
with Iron Mike?
100%.
Are you going to do it? You were here early enough usually. You might. I don't know what time you're going to be on.
Probably will. I'm not a big jock sniffer at all. Just not. But Tyson's unique, man. You know what I'd like to say? Did I ever tell you the story of the time I met Muhammad Ali? I don't think I told you this.
You might have, but go ahead, refresh my memory.
It was at Nobu. I was on a date, right? And this was Nobu in the city. And this, if I had to take a guess, maybe 05, something like that. And the girl that I'm with, she says, "Is that Muhammad Ali?" I'm like, yeah, it is. Long story short, he's walking around the restaurant, going to the tables. It was incredibly, it was a poignant moment. And yes, I'm using the word properly, Boomer and Gio. Very poignant moment. And he couldn't speak though, and his hands were trembling, and he had when somebody dies, you have a mass card?
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't a mass card, but it was a similar size with sayings and just how to live your life to be appreciative of things. Okay. And he gave it to everybody. And she's like, I'm a sportscaster. She's like, you got to take a picture with him. I'm like, not in the middle of the restaurant. I don't know. Yeah. And it wasn't like the phone's like now. It was a flip phone. I don't know. It was her phone. And I remember he put finally I got the stones up to do it, and we're in the middle of the restaurant, and he's got his fist on my chin.
That's awesome.
No, it wasn't, because she couldn't take the picture. She was getting nervous. She's fumbling around. And now I'm starting to sweat. The whole restaurant's looking at me. Muhammad Ali's got his fist up to my... She couldn't figure out the phone. I'm telling you, it wasn't an Apple phone. It was like 2004 or 5. Like, pictures weren't as plentiful.
It still shouldn't be that difficult.
I shouldn't have been, which is why I started sweating and getting nervous. And it was... I can actually feel... I can't describe this properly. I can feel an aura from Muhammad Ali that I have felt. The only thing that comes close is when I stood next to Tiger Woods and he actually hit a shot from the fairway, or actually from just off the fairway at the Buick Open back in, 99 or so. It is a different level of encounter.
Did you get the picture?
Yes.
Okay, so you got the picture. And
but then I broke up with her and I don't have the picture. I know. I don't have the picture.
Dude.
I know.
That's a rookie move. You got to get the pic first and then break up.
Well, I mean, I hear you.
Was she in it?
No.
Okay, even better. You got exactly right.
I know.
You got to hit her up. Go on Facebook or
hit
something.
Her up, yeah. Hey, is your wife home? Hit her up. Dude,
yeah.
You nuts.
Find her on Facebook.
That's probably 7 generations of phones ago.
Okay.
I can have it. What, you download it to MySpace?
Oh, dude, that's a great memory.
I messed up. I'll take the L.
All right, so Tyson Friday.
100% if he's here, yeah. But he scares me.
Yeah,
he does scare me. Like, I still feel like he could snap at any
still
second.
You could.
You know what I mean? I'm like, he makes me nervous still.
All right, last one here. What would you do? No. Let me ask it this way.
Okay.
Would you, if you caught a foul ball at a game, give it to a kid immediately?
Yes. I would. And if I'm with my children, they get it. Obviously, if I catch it, I look. Now, I will be a little judgmental in this sense. I will look for a child, no question. But I'm not just going to flip it to the child closest to me. I'm going to make a determination in my mind, and I'm going to find the child that I can tell loves baseball.
Well, then what happens if you get home and Colt's like, Daddy, I saw you catch a foul ball. Where is it?
Yeah, then I say, hey, Cole, remember when Rick Pitino sent you a 30-second message to give you inspiration before your playoff game last year? Deal with it.
All right, but you
remember when Daddy took you to the World Series? You saw Volpi at a Grand Slam? Deal with it.
I'm just saying in general, I guess you're looking at it from your own unique perspective.
Yeah, well, how else can I look at it?
Well,
what would you do?
Not be forced to give it to some other kid.
No, I wouldn't be forced. I'm not saying I would be forced. You're talking about what happened with the Phillies?
Well, of
with
course.
That crazy woman?
But that's
that lunatic?
But then there was a video last night, I think, in the Giants game that some adult dude, whatever, caught the ball fair and square.
Yep.
And then he went and sought out to give it to a kid, which is great.
It's great. That's a beautiful thing.
Understood. But let's say that I am in that spot and I catch said ball, and I'm not like any public figure, just whatever, random person.
Okay.
Random person catches a ball, a foul ball. That person is going to be pressured into giving that ball away. What if he wants to take it home to his kids?
Screw everybody else. You should never be shamed into doing it. I didn't think that's what you were asking me.
Well, no,
I would do it of my own volition. Yeah. I really would. I get a million balls.
Right, okay.
But no, if you caught the ball and you weren't Sal on the radio, you were Sal at Home Depot.
That wanted to bring it back
maybe at that point you're a manager at Home Depot. Maybe you own Home Depot at that point. But nobody knows you're Sal on the radio or Sal on TV. There's no way you should be shamed into giving us a take it home, give it to the door, screw everybody else.
That's my thing. And this has been going on for years. Even before, like, some of the stuff, the Phillies Karen, all that stuff.
Oh, God almighty.
Been going on forever.
Just get back. Get rid of her.
That was ridiculous.
Good God.
Yeah, exactly. But whatever. That was a whole ridiculous situation. All I'm saying is that just because it may appear that an adult catches a foul ball and wants to keep it, it may not be for him.
Agreed.
It is not that. It could also be like, hey, I got kids. My nephew would love this ball. My dog, like... You know what I'm saying?
I do. My parents not in good health, and
whatever. Yeah,
they taught me the game, and I caught a ball with my dad 50 years ago, and I want to reciprocate. Of course. Who is anybody else to judge what? Don't get me going.
That's kind of my.
You know where I stand.
BT Zal on the Fan. All right, we'll come back. We sat down with the king topic of the day. Right now, let's get you updated. Here's Andrew Bogan.
Hey. We're talking New York sports. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station. WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 12 o'clock. I'm Andrew Bogish. This Sports Flash is sponsored by the FanDuel Sportsbook at the Meadowlands Racetrack. Get all your parlays, moneyline, and prop wagers made on all the sports action at the Meadowlands Racetrack's FanDuel Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook in North America. 21 plus to wager and present in New Jersey. Gambling problem? Dial 1-800-GAMBLER. At the very least, Aaron Glenn appears to be a coach of his word.
Man, we can't have turnovers. We can't do it. We have to be a more disciplined team. And again, that's something that will be addressed, because you will not be on the field with this team if you're going to cause us to lose games. You're going to cause issues like that.
The Jets head coach said that after Sunday's loss to the Steelers, and now the Jets releasing returner Xavier Gipson, who fumbled that fourth quarter kickoff, setting up back-to-back Steeler touchdowns. Anthony Rizzo is retiring and returning to the Cubs as a team ambassador. The former Yankee played 14 seasons total, winning 4 Gold Gloves and making 3 All-Star games. The current Yankees have the Tigers at the stadium again. Carlos Rodon throws the first pitch at 7:05 here on the Fan. Clay Holmes starts for the Mets in Philadelphia, 6:45 Odyssey Mets Radio. The Mets' 4-game skid has their wild card lead on the Giants down to 2 games. Fan weather is sponsored by Moderna. It is 63 degrees and cloudy in Central Park. More rain coming. And that's what's happening. Sports Flashes, cup of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., it's Kickoff with Boomer and Mike Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL.
I look forward to breaking down that game with you, but I know we do have some NFL news to get into and talk about.
Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on Odyssey, TuneIn, and the iHeartRadio app.
Mnexspike COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna has arrived. To learn more and find it near you, visit mnexspike.com. That's mnexspike.com.
At Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
Here are the fundamentals that have helped Nielsen Dodge make customers for life. There's always 0 down payment available. We'll always give you up to $1,500 over book value for any trade. If you need credit help, we're here to make it happen. And of course, great deals on any new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo X 4x4, just $299 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Wrangler 4-door Willys 4xe, just $399 a month. Or choose from hundreds of quality certified pre-owned vehicles.
Fun is in the driver's seat when you save money.
On Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at NielsenDodge.com. A proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
Fun is in the driver's seat.
Drive into fall event. With approval term 24 months, do it sign Cherokee $38.94, Wrangler $43.94, add tax tag $498 dock and DMV fees.
Hey, New Jersey, the Mega Millions jackpot is up to $381 million. Who couldn't use a little extra money in their pockets? Get your tickets today. Anything can happen in Jersey.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Want a great deal to upgrade your heating system? Go with Petro for the latest energy-efficient technology, plus easy financing, $0 down, and low monthly payments. Go to petro.com now or call 1-888-PETRO02.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a month in bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Tune in to the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
If you've been waiting to update your home, don't wait any longer, because Macy's Labor Day sale has our lowest prices of the season on everything, from our exclusive Radley sectional in so many fabric and leather options, to our beautifully crafted Headworth Queen bed, plus top mattress brands like Sealy and Beauty Rest for that new bed, all at 20 to 60% off, over half off. But don't wait any longer. Our lowest prices of the season won't last forever. Hurry into Macy's today. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
When your team's best players have all been traded and the latest pick is overrated, just raise a glass with a friend or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. May your team be great and your picks be true, and if it falls apart, you'll know what to do. Just raise a glass with a fan or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. It's a crazy world, so what do? You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. Hey!
Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, imported by William Grant & Sons.
Water damage happens fast. So can the cleanup when you call on the restoration specialists at 1-800-SERVPRO to help make it like it never even happened. That's 1-800-SERVPRO.
Franchises are independently owned and operated.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey iHeart.
Brandon Tierney, Sal Licata back on the Fan on this Wednesday now afternoon. Down with the king topic of the day. Started the show talking about the Mets. Another day, another loss. The Giants win. It's now 2 games in the NL wildcard race for that final spot, although the Mets do have the tiebreaker. Bottom line to me, and we've gone over this, BT, every which way you can, with Manaea and fighting with him, I disagree that it would be time to take him out of the rotation. It, to me, was the most encouraging start. While not good, encouraging. I know you want him out of the rotation, but I still feel like the Mets are going to be a playoff team, and I think that's where... right now, a lot of fans are feeling the opposite, that the Mets are, in fact, going to be a playoff team.
They are, and they're reacting to the results, which I think is normal. If the Mets win tonight 7-2, guess what? You get a jolt of confidence, you get a little surge of energy and newfound bounce. Right now, when you're losing, and particularly in baseball, when you lose and you don't hit, you're right. The energy for both of us was more towards Maniah at the start of the show. If you guys missed it, free Odyssey app, we got after it pretty good. I would not start him the rest of the way. 17 games to go. Give me the 3 kids. Give me Peterson and give me Clay Holmes and put Maniah in the bullpen. But the Mets optically feel flat right now because they're not hitting. And in baseball, when you don't hit, I know it's not a lack of effort or a lack of want, but it just seems stale when you go 3 up and 3 down as the Mets have the last couple of days. So Met fans are nervous. It could change on a dime, but until it changes, right now the Mets are in a rut that they don't seem immediately ready to get out of, for me.
Disappointing regular season. Division is now over, and they still, though, can go out there and make the postseason, and that should be the goal. Just get in, and then anything could happen, and then from there we evaluate. Now, if they didn't make the postseason, it would be a disaster of epic proportions. We discussed the Yankees a little bit. Ugly game last night, certainly an ugly inning. We didn't really get into the Volpi thing, but, it's the same old stuff. I'm tired of talking about Anthony Volpi. He should be down in the minors. He should have been weeks ago, months ago when we discussed this. I don't know how you feel about that now, but I think
it's almost too late. I just bench him.
Okay. He's not going to play.
It's gotten worse, though.
Yeah.
Like when we did have the discussion, it was, I always said bench him. You said send him down. I said bench him. It's gotten worse. Like now, late breaks on balls over his head in the outfield and not getting bunts down. He's had a wretched season. He really has.
They've screwed up. And the manager said, on what planet would he be down in the minor leagues? Dude. This planet right here.
From Boone, that's a weird comment.
The Yankees mishandled Anthony Volpi from day one. They don't want to admit it. They won't acknowledge it. We all saw what's gone on. It's gotten worse to your point. You can't play him bottom line. Caballero is going to get the majority of starts. So, that's what's going to happen. That's my anticipations that he's going to be starting, especially in big games moving forward. The other thing we discussed, BT, the Jets making a decision to cut Xavier Gipson after the fumble, but it wasn't just that. Aaron Glenn spoke today. Do we have that cut there, Dove? So listen to Aaron Glenn now. I believe that this is within the last hour, whenever you addressed the media today, explaining his decision to move on from Gipson.
We released Xavier Gipson, and we will be bringing in some other guys. We already brought one guy in, like Isaiah Williams, who I know. He was with us in Detroit. I think 23 or 24. He was with us. And then we're going to look at some guys that's in-house. And I want to be known that decisions that's made are not rash decisions, and they're never based off of one incident. So, and I will keep it at that. Xavier's a really good player, and he's going to play in this league. But I felt there was time for us to move on in another direction. So I'll leave it at that.
I like it, and that goes into one of the things you and I really like it. I was just like, I love it. I said this on Monday that they should cut Gipson. I didn't know that they would. I love the swiftness and the decisiveness. But what you were saying was, well, it's a slippery slope. What happens? Brees Hall puts one on the turf, or a star defensive player does something stupid. Is it the same penalty? And we all know there's a different code of rules for the stars, but what he told you right there reinforces what we said before. Hey, it's not the first time, and what you saw in practice, it's time.
I just wanted to dispel the narrative that everybody, because it is everybody, the Jets making an example of Gipson and sending the message. That's not really what's happening here. He made a mistake. He's been prone to making those mistakes. He was fringed to be on the team to begin with, and they decided to move on now instead of having it come back to bite them again. So, yes, they held the player accountable, but it wasn't just for that one play. That's the big part here. It's not, you make a mistake, you're going to be out. There was that narrative around this decision, and Glenn just explained it's not just that.
Let's face it. This was a 2-foot putt. This was pick it up. It's a gimme. Right. Because he's had ball security issues. Glenn did not draft him. As a matter of fact, nobody drafted him. He was undrafted. You signed with the Jets as an undrafted player. And you got to respect that route, because just to even score a touchdown in the NFL after you don't get drafted, and he did house one to win it against the Bills the night that Rodgers got hurt. So we'll never forget him for that, and we wish him well. But this was an easy move. He's not very good at his job. You have no financial commitment, so let's do this. And now we can reestablish messaging and reinforce a few things. And you're not going to see this every week. I mean, if Olu Fashanu has 2 false starts on Sunday, he might get reamed, but he's not getting benched because he's supposed to be a really good player. He's going to be. But I like it. It's a great start, and there's consequences, even if we can interpret those a little differently. And there's swiftness, and there's no sloppiness, and there's no acceptance of less than good stuff.
And also the way that he addresses it, head on, direct, no humming up, no getting caught up by some kind of question from the reporters, no on his back heels.
Yep.
He's addressing it. And just before we get going here, this is not based off of one decision. Here's the next one I want to play. I didn't hear this during the break, but I did read the quote, and I want to play this for everybody here, BT. It's Aaron Glenn when he was asked if watching film from week 1 made him more excited about the Jets' potential for the rest of the season.
Potential that you guys have, the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball.
To be honest with you, after that Monday, I flushed that game. So I'm excited about the things that we're continuing to build and how we're moving forward, to be honest with you. And I try my best not to look back and focus on what just happened, if that makes sense. I really focus on what we're trying to do right now and continue to play our brand of football, because I think that speaks louder than anything. So I'm excited about the players we have. I've always said that. I will always say that, because I do think we have damn good players on this team. And with the coaching staff, man, we're going to do everything we can to coach these guys up to be a good opponent that's coming into our building.
Here's one thing I really hope for Aaron, and not even for me, for him and what he's trying to do, because you're going to hear a lot about the future and excited about what we're building. I believe that, and I believe the building feels that. I know the fan base feels it. Eventually, early, you're going to need a win to support that, to make it even pop even more.
Right, because you can't go 0-5, 0-6. The results have to follow it, but come on, dude. That is music to my ears, hearing a head coach address things with honesty like that. You know what? To be honest with you, after Monday, we watched the film, I flushed it. Even though there was a lot of good, he could have easily said, yeah, you know what? I'm encouraged the way that we played.
Yep.
It gives us hope. No, I flushed it. We're on to the next. We're building something here. Get the hell out of my way. Let me. That's basically what he's saying. I know
like
what
that.
I'm doing.
Yeah.
I love it from Aaron Glenn. But you're right. We talked about this earlier. The results have to follow, because if you start 0-2, 0-3, then it's going to be more difficult to keep that negative cloud, whether it's the questions, the fan base, the feel.
Infiltrate
away.
the building
He's
again.
going to need, again, I don't think they need 7 wins this year.
No.
You need some early wins just to let it know that it's working.
But I also think they could get 7 wins. I mean, Miami's in trouble. The Patriots aren't going to score a ton of points. And obviously a few other teams that you could and or should beat. But listen, I don't want to get too wrapped up in like 0-5, 1-6, whatever. We'll just know.
Yep.
Like, all right, let's say that you never want to come out and nobody's going to get a thunderous applause for starting 0-2 at home. I don't care if it's Kotite coach of the team. You get 2 home games. You're generally supposed to get at least 1 to start the season. But, it's 2 terrific teams, and now it's the Bills. But we'll know optically if the Jets lose 31-13 and Fields puts 2 on the turf and 1 in the hands of a corner for the Bills. Most of the steam, even though I'm saying that, of course, it could be regenerated, but at least temporarily, the steam is gone. If they lose 20-17 or 24-21 or 27-20 or 30-24, and it's competitive and tight, the better team wins that, by the way, is favored by basically a touchdown for a reason, well, we've got to maintain perspective. I don't want to say there's good losses, but there's losses that give me a little more reassurance that it's moving in the right direction. And I know it's early, but man, I've got complete faith in this guy. If Aaron Glenn fails me, I'm done. Then I don't know what to believe in anymore.
When
you know what I mean?
I do know exactly what you mean. When you're fighting off the SOJ, it's a very difficult thing. It can't be erased in 1 week. This is a long process, but along the way, you're going to have some signs that you are heading in the right direction. I think success after week 1, even with the result, eventually you're going to need the result. You also need to stream your local NFL game all season long, kicking off with the juicy Week 2 matchup between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets, starting at just $30 for your first year. That's like $250 a month. Come on, it's nothing. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get things started today. BT and Sal on the Fan. We'll get back to your calls here.
By the way, real quick, did you see who's on the game for the Jets and the Bills coming up on Sunday? Did you see the broadcast team?
I did not.
Want to take a guess? CBS? How do you think that CBS views this game? Profile-wise. And it's not Ian. I'll give you that.
So then is it Nance?
It is. It's Nance and Romo.
You seem down on that.
Yeah, I don't like them.
Really?
No. Why would I? I don't think they're good at all.
They're the number 1 team. Who'd you rather have on
They're
there?
not my number 1 team. Tony Romo's been bad the last 3 years.
They are CBS number 2. If it were me, I'd want Ian on every game that I do or watch every week. But obviously that's not the case. We just had Ian and Watt. They're going to be the number 1 team eventually.
Yeah, Watt's got real potential. Give me Kevin Burkhardt. I mean, I know he's Fox, obviously, but I mean, I know that Nance is a Hall of Famer, and he was great, and sometimes it sounds big with Nance. I'll give you that.
Yeah, Nance and Romo can have a nice feel to it.
Romo's, I don't know, man. To me, Romo.
I'm into it. I like that.
Romo he's been stealing money for years.
Yeah.
He came in. He has been. He came. What they give him? $30 million. Tony Romo, whatever he's making a year, is a waste of money because we're going to watch the game anyway. And Tony Romo came in with an understanding of the league, which obviously he had because he was playing. And then that first year he was able, and you guys remember this, he was able to look at a formation, and I don't mean Dallas, and say, hey, Jim, look for this. And he was right almost all the time. But and it was impressive. And everybody's like, wow, Tony Romo's amazing. He is the best we've ever seen. But more and more as the games get away in terms of him being retired, he knows less because he's in the building longer ago. So his guesses are less accurate, less frequent. And one thing that he does, and he's got to stop this. I know I'm getting on a little soapbox here, but this is 101. If you want to be a play-by-player or an analyst and you're a former player, the former player should never say, hey, Jim, what do you think you should do here, Jim? Which is what he does half the time. Like 3rd and 2, Jim, you think they got to run or pass? And then you put Jim Nance on his heels where he's like, oh, I don't know, Tony, here's the play. Like, that's not what Jim Nance is getting gazillion dollars to do. Give me the mechanics of the game, which Jim is still very good at. Tony Romo just is all over the map. And I like him as a person. I love Tony Romo. I don't think he's that good anymore. I'm sorry.
The good thing for you and other Jet fans, if you're not a fan of Romo, you probably don't have to worry about that anymore because I highly doubt CBS number 1 team is going to be doing many Jet games moving forward.
Hey, take it easy, buddy.
I mean, that's just this might be one and done. I was shocked Ian was doing it. The number 2 team. All right, BT and Sal, the Fan, our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Okay, I don't have it. You're telling me there's a read in here. I'm not seeing it.
I got some though, or is that?
I don't have it. You might have it.
I don't have it.
Okay.
What do we have? Samwell.
There you
Let me
go.
see here.
Okay. You have it over
says
there?
your name, so I'm
Yeah.
going to let you read it.
Okay.
You know what? I'll read it. Where
There
the
you
hell
go.
is it? And by the way, just so everybody's know, this is on Dope. This is not on me, and it's not on my partner. And I don't even have Samwell, so I can't read it.
We don't have it. So you want to just continue to play that music into a regular break or bring us in the read here? There you go.
Keep listening for your chance to score a pair to see Mike Tyson. Return of the Mike Tour coming to Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Atlantic City on January 23rd. From our friends at the Hard Rock Hotel Atlantic City. Tickets go on sale Friday 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. It's all from the Fan, 101.9 FM and always live on the free Odyssey app.
We could tell you what it's like to drive the Nissan Rogue and tell you all about its performance capabilities, like its VC turbo engine. It's I can go virtually anywhere type of freedom. Nice. But you don't have to take our word for it. Go drive it for yourself. You're up. Experience the power of the Nissan Rogue.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Get 0% APR for 60 months on the 2025 Nissan Rogue, Pathfinder, or Murano. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. For well-qualified buyers, example, 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to Nissan Motor Acceptance Company credit approval, not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends September 30th, 2025.
HL Gross Jewelers of Garden City is Long Island's premier engagement and wedding ring destination. Visit HL Gross today or online at hlgross.com.
eBay has reinvented vehicle buying. From click to curb, everything's covered. Ever try to buy a car online and end up in a parking lot with a stranger and some blind trust? That era is over. Now with Secure Purchase, eBay isn't just where you find your car. It's where you buy it, start to finish. Title, financing, registration, delivery, it's all built in. This is the modern way to buy your next ride on eBay. eBay. Things people love. Secure Purchase is powered by Caramel Dealer Services, LLC, an eBay subsidiary.
Your cold is coming. Your cold is coming. When you feel a cold coming, shorten it with Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand.
Oh, no, not before my big trip.
The big trip you've been planning is coming up, and so is your cold. But Zicam can shorten your cold and get you back to planning sooner.
Thanks, Revere.
We really should keep Zicam in the house.
Shorten your cold with Zicam.
Take it from America's most revered messenger. Shorten your cold at the first sign with cold shortening products from Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand. Available in stores or see where to buy at Zicam.com.
Some things are hard to commit to, like learning how to surf or saving for a family vacation. But one commitment that's easy, switching to Fios Home Internet with a 5-year price lock guarantee. That means 5 great summers of fast, reliable internet at the same low price. All with the Fios 1 gig internet plan. Plus no hidden fees or equipment charges. Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch today. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for new and existing My Home customers.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
How good is a perfectly cooked tomahawk steak? The Chef IQ Sense is the wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking your meat. Order the newly released 3rd generation Chef IQ Sense now and enter code word BOOMER for 20% off at chefiq.com.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check if they're going for it on 4th down before going to the concession stand.
Yeah, give me 3 hot dogs, 2 jumbo
Touchdown, baby! What?
Hey, buddy, you want cheese with those?
Yeah, checking first is smart.
No.
So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you're in the market for Michelin tires, get to Town Fair Tire and get them at the guaranteed lowest price. With Michelin's innovative technologies designed for durability and performance, you can trust you're getting the highest quality tires over all the toughest of road conditions. Plus, at Town Fair, you get free services for life. So if you're looking for the best deal on Michelin tires, get to Town Fair, because nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Catch all the play-by-play with Susan Waldman and Dave Sims. The home of Yankees radio. The Fan. On the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Brandon Tierney, Salicata back on The Fan. We're awaiting the arrival of Todd Zal, who's going to join us in studio, talk some Mets ahead of Alumni Weekend here, or Alumni Day on Saturday. Obviously, the Mets also fighting for their playoff lives here down the stretch. Been struggling. Before we get back to the calls here, or Todd arrives, whichever happens first, I wanted to bring up something I just saw on social media. Did not think we were going to be talking basketball today, but I just saw a rule change that I'd be curious to get your thoughts on.
Okay.
NBA rule change. I'm seeing this on Courtside Buzz on social media.
That's ironic, because I just saw something about the NBA as well during this. And you and I were talking most of the break.
And
but
not about the rule change?
No, about the Knicks. Nothing big, and I'm not trying to derail. I want to hear what you have to say for sure. But the Knicks brought in a guy with Coach Lang. Has been at St. Joe's, college coach for about 7 years or so. I find that very interesting on the new staff. Either way, we both saw something about basketball during the break.
Yeah, weird how that staff has come together. But anyway, looking forward to the next season, actually, when it does get underway here next month. It's going to be crazy next month, assuming that both teams make the playoffs. All right, so the NBA rule change. Unsuccessful end-of-period heaves will now be recorded as a missed field goal for the team, not the player, and players' percentages will not be impacted.
I like it. Honestly, I like it. I like it because I could already see you don't. I'll tell you why I like it. Common sense. There was a lot of times where you see guys, because it's always fun flinging that thing 70 feet in the air.
Right.
But it's not fun when you miss it, which you almost always will, and it goes against your three-point accuracy or your overall field goal percentage. So what you've seen, I'd say really it's become a bit of an epidemic the last 7 to 10 years. Guys will actually hold and wait till the red light goes on, and then they'll fire it. So it makes it look like, oh, I tried, but it's after the shot, doesn't count, doesn't go against my record. I actually like it. So you'll probably see a few more made because now everybody will shoot it. I got no problem with it.
See, Breen talks about this all the time, and I love it. He brings it up on the broadcast, acknowledging that guys are afraid to shoot. My issue is, who gives and I really want to curse, but I can't because this is radio, not a podcast. Who cares about the percentage? Like, how soft have we become that you're worried about a measly one miss from three-point range where we all watch? That's why it's not about the stats. It's not about the stats. It's about watching the game. If I see John Starks heave a full court shot at the end of a half, I'm not going to say, whoa, he missed a three. I watched it. I saw what happened. Players are so soft and so worried about the stats, and everybody else is so worried about the analytics that it's gotten to a point where they're going to change the rule and say, even though you shot that ball and it is technically a three-pointer, it's not going to be held against you to encourage them to shoot because the players are worried about missing and having their percentage hurt. Holy crap. I couldn't give a crap less about their shooting percentages. I want to watch the games. Now we're making rules around this?
Well, that's an Adam Silver thing, who has just played to these, tries to placate players. He's not David Stern. Let me just leave it at that. I wish he was. But no, I'm trying to separate the selfishness, which I clearly understand, and guys not wanting to impugn their own stats, if you will, versus what can I gain from it.
Like, it's good for the game that this is in place
now. Now you're going to see a half-court heave all the time. Now, what was it, within a second? What was the exact timing mechanism of it? Did they have it specific?
He said at the end.
At the end. I mean, that's pretty vague. I mean, is it inside of a second?
End of period heaves will now be recorded as missed field goal. Yeah, so
what does that mean? Is that beyond 50 feet, beyond 70, within 2 seconds, within 1 second? What does
Good
that
luck
actually
deciphering where guys now pull up at midcourt with regularity trying to knock down a three.
Guys like Damian Lillard when he's healthy.
You know what it's going to be the heave as opposed to a
No, I know.
I would think.
Definitely. But I mean, then why don't they, if they're going to change the rule, then just tell us this is exactly what the rule change is. Beyond 70 feet or beyond 60 feet, within 1 second, within 1.5.
Or beyond midcourt.
I guess it doesn't really matter. But, again, big picture, we'll win because we'll see more, more shots. And you have more shots, you have a couple of more circus mates.
Yeah, I just hate the idea of it. I mean, these players are getting soft nowadays. Not like they used to be. Back in the day where real men played the games. Like our next guest, Todd Zal, who joins us in studio. Todd, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for making the trek downtown here. We appreciate having you in studio.
Wow, walk in and jump right on, man. Nice intro. Thank you. Good to see you guys.
Todd, how you doing? He's a veteran talent. This is a guy, you're right. When they used to be real ball players, said he would be here at 12:30. It's 12:31. He's got the headsets on already.
One thing
I love it.
Good. I was just going to say, I have to flash the new ID downstairs and get in. Very high tech here. Got to make my way up, but great to see you guys in person.
One thing I've learned about Todd, he doesn't waste any time. That's a
well,
Todd needs to be on set by 5:59. He'll be on set by 5:59.
Yeah, my nickname for about 20 years in professional baseball was Justin Time. That's what I used as my name on the road as well. So, I didn't waste any time, bantering about early in the clubhouse.
All right, so obviously Todd, currently SNY pre- and post-game, does a great job there, former Met. You do a lot of stuff for 9/11, which is tomorrow. You'll be doing that tomorrow as well. And we had you on, of course, ahead of the Alumni Day, which is Saturday. You playing in that game?
Oh, yeah, I'm playing in that game. It's going to be, look, we talked about this. I turned 60 yesterday, and when you look at the two rosters, it's Shea versus Citi Field. There's a bit of an unfair advantage to the guys that are 15 years younger than us, and some of them just out of the game or still trying to play. So it should be an interesting one.
No, what about the guys who played at both?
Yeah, well, there's a couple of those guys that crossed over, like Reyes. Is on our side.
Oh, nice.
So they split them up so that we have a couple of the young bucks, but Reyes on our side.
Your roster's loaded, though.
Give me some names here.
Their roster's pretty loaded. You have the roster.
Robbie, can you pull it up?
Unfortunately, the two key guys on the Citi Field side, David Wright and Daniel Murphy, both had previous engagements, weren't going to be able to be here. But I think the Dark Knight's going to take the mound. And I saw R.A. Dickey, which is just what I needed to see is some knuckleballs right now. Trying to stand in the box. And look, from our side, we've got Al Leiter and I think John Neese and Johnny Franco. But Johnny's got a bum shoulder, so I don't think he's going to be towing the rubber at all. And I'm hoping they let me catch just to get the gear on. And that's the safest place in the field with all that gear on behind the plate.
And any odds, that's true. Unless you run to back up the throw to first base, then you might do something to kill these guys. Any odds on FanDuel? No offense, I'm going with the other team.
Good question.
John Franco can't even throw. He might pitch. Give me the other team, dude.
I don't know, man. It's a good question. I think... we hope that kind of like when position players come into pitch and they throw at 58 miles an hour and guys pop it up. That's what we're hoping out of our starting crew. And Piazza's going to catch an inning. Paul Duca is back in the house, and Edgardo Alfonso and Reyes. And Carlos Delgado is going to play first base for our side, for our shade side. So
you look at the Citi Field.
Okay.
I'm not going to disparage anybody. Look at the Citi Field side compared to Shea side. I'll ride with Shea, even though you're 60. You don't even feel.
He's 60 years old. He's 60. He looks like he's 40. He looks great, but he's still 60.
That'll all be exposed tomorrow or Saturday, I should say. Yeah.
Speaking about being exposed here, what do you believe about this Mets team? Everybody's in panic mode. I am not, for the record. I still believe they're going to be all right. What are you seeing?
We had a conversation about this. You and I did in the studio. And look, I'm not in panic mode, but I do think sometimes teams like this, they got out to such a big early lead and played so well April, May, but it was an interesting type of well, right? It was great pitching, like, best in all of baseball, starting and relieving, and not great offense, but still won a lot of games, built up a nice pad. And they've been, the third or fourth, worst team in baseball, since June. So that's a tough thing to overcome. But they are a talented group. I think Carlos, says the right things, and I think he's got to be a little frustrated, day to day, seeing the inconsistent play. But their backs are against the wall now. San Francisco's coming. San Francisco feels like they have a chance. I mean, the 2 games is really 3 because they have the season series against them. But I think this next couple of days is going to have a big impact because right now it was feeling like, oh, you know what, even though we're not going to win the division or we may not win the division, we're going to still make the playoffs. That's a given. Well, it's not a given anymore, and so I think the backs are against the wall.
I think this is a good read. It shifted, obviously. Not that it can't change with a nice win tonight or, you get that 4th game against the Phillies. And I don't know if you have enough perspective from both sides, and you'll see what I mean in a minute, to give us a personal answer, but I'm curious where you go. Is the energy stronger within a team now, negative energy, that's fading, or with a team like the Giants that's surging? Which seems to have more push, either in the right or the wrong direction?
I mean, I would say that they are kind of a counterbalance. I think when the team's just floating, the energy and the sense of urgency is less. When a team's surging and driving up, then the energy's high. I would say San Francisco's got energy right now. They've got a lot of energy. They've got a lot of want. They've got a lot of belief because they've been really hot for a long time, and they climbed from not being really in contention at all to now being the leading contender to jump to the Mets. And you saw it the first inning last night. Willie Adames hits a 3-run homer, and it was like a playoff win, like a walk-off in the first inning. So you feel the energy from that Giants team right now. The Mets, I think, have been a little bit more steady, a little, not complacent isn't the right word, but I don't think they've felt like their backs against the wall until now. I do feel like that energy may have to get galvanized for them to drive past this. And the thing that I keep saying, and I think one of the things that, we both have talked about, Sal, is that they have their own destiny in front of them. They have, they're still in the 2-game lead. Their schedule is not overwhelming. They, Giants play the Dodgers 7 times, and the Mets have the season series record against the Giants. So it's in their own hands. It's up to them. They've got nobody else to look at. They've got no scoreboards to really watch. It's time for them to concentrate on what they do on the field, and they can control their own destiny.
One thing that is not up for debate, and we're in studio, Todd Zal of SNY joining us in studio, of course, former Met and Yankee, but we'll gloss over that. One thing that's not up for debate, Todd, is that it has been a disappointing regular season. The division is now basically over, 9 games back with 17 to go, and the win total is not going to be what it was a year ago, even with more talent, at least in my mind. You think this team is better than they were a year ago? And if not, then why the inconsistencies? Why the disappointment from this team really all regular season long?
I wish I had the answer to that. I think if I did, I'd be, applying for special assistant over there and try to figure out a way to get that translated. But it's been a weird trend in all of baseball this year. If you look around baseball, there's been so many ebbs and flows with really good teams and poor teams as well. But I've never seen so many great streaks where they look like the best team in the world, and then poor streaks where they look like they can't beat the cellar dwellers. And, so you start to wonder, where is the cream settling? Is everybody going to end up where they're supposed to be? Because whether it be Milwaukee or the Cubs or the Dodgers or the Mets or the Phillies, there's been 7+ game win streaks and 6 or 7 game losing streaks and 13 out of 16 losses, things that I've never really seen in baseball before. So this inconsistency is something that's more prevalent this year, and I don't really know how exactly to explain it.
Is there something strategic that you think Mendoza can do differently, whether it's a lineup thing, whether it's, I don't know, being more aggressive, even though they do steal bases, just something to try to force the issue to get them out of this?
I think what is in his control and command right now is the pitching staff more so than anything else. I think he's pleased to have the 3 young kids up there. I think that brings some energy. They've all pitched well, even though they didn't get losses over this last weekend. They all have pitched well and shown that I think that they're real. This is not a fluke where you bring up a prospect from AAA and he has one good outing and you're not going to hear from him again. I don't think that's the case with any of these 3. So I think that's a benefit. That gives him more weapons in the bullpen because the bullpen has been absolutely taxed. Helsley was a big piece that came over in the trade deadline and hasn't been able to be that 8th inning guy. You can never get to Edwin because they're giving it up in the middle innings. So I think his focus is there. The offense, as we've talked about, they were historically good in August, and the team went 11-17. I mean, they were the best they've ever been in that month, and the team was 6 games under 500. So that tells you that, you know, it's been an inconsistent run with the pitching not being able to get the job done when the offense has been, you know, firing.
We talked a lot about Maniah to start the show. What would you do here? For me, weeks ago, I would have moved him to the bullpen, have him be a weapon out of the pen because he showed dominance. I think you and I did talk about this in the newsroom as well. Last night, I was actually encouraged by it. Now, obviously, it wasn't a good start, but it was one of the best he's had, if not the best, and encouraging that he closed it out with 3 scoreless innings to finish 5. What would you do with Maniah?
I had the exact same take last night. I thought early on he looked a little dejected, and he looked like, you know, there's this thing in sports where if you go out trying not to fail, you're going to fail. If you go out thinking, God, I don't want to let the team down, you're going to let the team down. And there is this moment where you're like, screw it, which is exactly what Maniah said. He said to himself after the conversation with Mendy underneath, after the bad second inning, it's kind of like, screw it. I'm just going to let it fly and let it happen and stop trying to do some things. And all of a sudden you saw him free and easy. You saw some swings and misses. You saw him, feel like he was more convicted with his choices. And he had 3 great innings to finish his day, which I was most encouraged by. So, look, I think if you thought, I think they did the right thing with Senga, as hard as that was to do. I thought that Sean was a guy that could be a bullpen piece because he is capable of being dominant for 3 innings at a time. And so he could piggyback on one of the other starters, like a Clay Holmes, who they've had to limit his pitches, and he's been having a hard time going past 5, but he's been good in those early innings. Those 2 guys combined, if they went with 5 plus kind of instead of a 6-man rotation, I could see him fitting into a role like that.
See, I wouldn't do that, though. And I hear you. I don't think the body of work has been good enough where I'm going to roll the dice with 17 games to go, because if that tunnel conversation does not lead to what you guys and maybe some others think that it could, well, then you could just flush another game away down the chute, because he didn't give the Mets a chance to win early last night. He did stabilize, and I give him credit there for sure. But if there weren't other options, there's nothing to discuss. The 3 kids look better. I think that Peterson has been shaky, but obviously he's been a rock and an all-star this year and before this year. And I think Holmes in totality has been better than Maniah. His ERA is almost 6. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm not moving mountains to do a 6-man rotation or explain anything away. He is not, this is just my opinion, has not been good enough. I would not pitch him. I would go with 5, and I would let Maniah come out of the pen.
Well, I mean, essentially, we're saying sort of a different version of the same thing. I'm saying if they decided to go to 5 and make Maniah a bullpen piece, I think that's an effective way to use him. Okay. If they are staying with 6, then they're staying with 6, and Maniah is that 6th guy, and you don't really have another choice in that matter.
But why would you stay with? But why stay with 6 if you're making room for somebody who hasn't been that good?
I think it's something that they're debating right now. I think they're making, and you heard Mendy last night, who has done a great job. He's very, very honest. That's one thing that I think is great about having him there, is he tells the truth. And last night when they said, is Maniah you're starting making his next start, he said, as of right now, yes. That doesn't mean absolutely yes, like he said about Sproat or he said about Jonah Tong, right? And so I think all of these options are on the table. They've got, they've looking at what their off days look like, because you can give the guys that need the rest without having to have a full 6-man. So I do think that that's on the table. And I do think that Sean would be an effective guy if they decided to go 5 and have him be a bulk piece out of the bullpen.
How much of their struggles do you think just has to do with maybe a mentality? Like last year, we saw the chemistry take them to another level. It's hard for me to watch this team, who's arguably one of the most talented Mets teams that I've ever seen. Arguably, I'm not saying they are, but you look at Lindor, Soto, Alonso, and so on, and even when they do hit, they don't win. When they do pitch, they can't hit. Like what? There's got to be some kind of reason for the inconsistencies. I know we're all struggling for answers here, but you're a player. You've been in these clubhouses before. I'm sure you've been on teams that have had some sort of similar issues. Is there anything that you could chalk it up to?
No, and it's a great question because I think about it all the time. There was magic last year. There has not been magic in my mind this year. There's been some good stretches where they seem like they play as a team. Everybody's rooting for each other. It feels a little bit, I was going to say corporate, but it's not corporate. It seems a little bit more expected, I guess. And so last year was unexpected. So the magic was something that fans were able to gravitate to, and the team bought into, because, hey, there's something about being told that you can't do something, and then all of a sudden you're going to do it, and you're going to do it better than anybody else, and you're going to defy everybody. That's the way the team felt last year. This year, they were told that they better do it. They should do it. They've got the best team in the world. They spent the most money on the free agent market that has ever been seen before. So that expectation doesn't bring the same type of magic. I think they're going to have to find a way to rally for that a little bit right now, because I see some dejected faces when they're losing games that they feel like they should win.
Maybe they're just not having as much fun. Last year was kind of fun, and this year with the expectations, as you say, BT, with that crown, it's heavy, and it doesn't seem like they're having as much fun. We'll take a quick break. We're in studio with Todd Zal of SNY, former Met, of course. Get into some of the stuff you'll be doing tomorrow with some Mets as well on the anniversary of 9/11. Stop dealing with your neck pain, backache, sciatica, and go to Dr. Jay Shah at Samwell Institute for Pain Management, a migraine and nerve pain specialist who gets you back to feeling yourself again with minimally invasive and non-surgical treatments. There are thousands of 5-star reviews who trust Dr. J for pain-relieving solutions. Same-day and next-day appointments available with offices in Colonia, Livingston, and Englewood, New Jersey. Turn to Samwell Pain for effective pain-relieving solutions. Visit SamwellPain.com.
All right, FanDuel's getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you don't want to miss. New customers bet $5 and get $300 back in bonus bets if you win. That's right. All you have to do is pick a bet $5, and if you win, you're going to unlock $300 back in bonus bets to use all across the different platforms within the app. The app is simple to navigate. It's so easy. Anything you want, you can find it. Whether it's parlays, player props, ride the live lines, that's always fun and sometimes dangerous. Whatever your style is, FanDuel has you covered. The NFL season is back, finally here. The only question is, are you ready to jump in and have a little fun? Visit FanDuel.com/BT to download the app today and get started. That's FanDuel.com/BT. We love the app around here. Safe, secure. And how about this? What a novelty. When you win, you actually get paid right away, instantly. No wondering where my money is. It's right there in the account right away. FanDuel, the official partner of us here at WFAN, 21 plus and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
It's Evan and Tiki. Afternoons on the Fan 101.9 FM.
Open the door to making the change after 1 week. Now, he hasn't done it because he's going to stick with Russ, but to even open the door.
Well, I don't think he didn't open the door. He just didn't slam it shut.
Well, that's kind of opening the door.
No, it's not. The door was open because of how poorly Russ played.
Listen to Evan and Tiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute, sponsored by Chumba Casino, your online casino for plays, spins, and a chance to score. Must be 21 and over. Terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Aaron Rodgers looked sharp in his Steelers debut, hitting big throws and running Arthur Smith's offense efficiently, especially with play action and no huddle. While many explosive plays came from busted coverages, Rodgers made smart decisions and showed he's buying into the system. It's a promising start, but with limited mobility and thinner margins ahead, consistency remains the biggest question. I'm Maggie Gray.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the weather first, before wearing face paint to the game.
Bro, your Go Cats is dripping into your nachos.
Oh, and now paint is in my eyes.
Interception! Did you see that?
No! Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Come visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations.
At Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
Here are the fundamentals that have helped Nielsen Dodge make customers for life. There's always 0 down payment available. We'll always give you up to $1,500 over book value for any trade. If you need credit help, we're here to make it happen. And of course, great deals on any new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo X 4x4, just $299 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Wrangler 4-door Willys 4xE, just $399 a month. Or choose from hundreds of quality certified pre-owned vehicles.
Fun is in the driver's seat when you save money.
On Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at NielsenDodge.com. A proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
Fun is in the driver's seat.
Drive into fall event.
With approval term 24 months, do it sign a Cherokee, $38.94, Wrangler, $43.94, add tax tag, $498, dock and DMV.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on The Fan.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Town Fair Tire, Connecticut's largest discount tire dealer. Because we give you the guaranteed lowest price and we honor every manufacturer's rebate. We even honor all our competitors' rebates. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
For over 100 years, Sloman's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, they deliver more than just quality fuel. They deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, and 24/7 service, their dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Sloman's, the Tri-State's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving their community for generations. Give them a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomans.com.
4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. Some drive them for performance. Others drive them for the range. And some drive them because it's the only way to make an entrance. 3 different ways to turn every drive into an occasion. Whatever your reason, there's never been a better time to say, let's take the Cadillac. The all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles. Escalade IQ, Vistic, Optic, and Lyric. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today.
Long Island is more exciting than ever at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. This September, you'll be traveling in style when you win your share of $50,000 in cash and Toomey luggage. Be here on Friday, September 12th and 26th from 3 to 7 p.m. when one winner will be drawn every hour to win a Toomey aluminum extended trip packing case and international carry-on, plus up to $5,000 in cash. Come to where Long Island wins at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
Zal back on the fan. 888-808-1019 is the number to call, and I don't know why I gave that because we have Todd Zal in studio, so you could call us later on. I gave it out of habit. We're joined by Todd Zal in studio, and we have, obviously you have SNY, former Met, and tomorrow, Todd, I know you've done a lot of work with this over the years, the 9/11, the anniversary, of course, of 9/11. You're going to be at Firehouse Engine. This is what Jay Horowitz wrote.
I can tell you. I don't know.
Okay,
I'm going to be at Ladder 12, Engine 3, which is in Chelsea on 19th and 7th. And,
nice.
This is something I've done year after year after year, and really a guy that's become a really close friend of mine who's Battalion Chief Tom McCarthy, retired last year after 43 years, but he was on duty during 9/11, lost 5 of his men. We always go and pay tribute to the guys fallen, and I'm going to be joined tomorrow by Jay Horowitz and Al Leiter and Johnny Franco and Bobby Valentine coming. And, as the Mets, Jay has done an amazing job of making sure that we always stay committed to this cause and never forget. And, I think from that perspective as well, Jay was reminding me that, and I did some sit down for this as well. The Mets on their YouTube channel are premiering something called 11 Days in September. It's a documentary that really focuses more on the immediate aftermath of 9/11 and how the Mets and Shea Stadium played a big role in that relief effort. It became, a makeshift morgue. It became a supply center, and all of our team became, instant volunteers, not knowing what to do to help, but found some ways, to be able to contribute, and so they're premiering that this week. And I think, as I had told you, I'm working on a documentary as well with the Major League Baseball Network for the 25th anniversary. So we're getting started on some of that tomorrow with this morning commemoration that we've done every year.
It's awesome. I've even heard, I remember Tiki telling me that the Giants were going to Shea Stadium's parking lot, helping with food and whatever they could do. I mean, listen, it's a while ago now. The rawness begins to dissipate, but the other things don't. In the interactions you've had with victims' families, do they find any area or way to enjoy their lives? I know that's a strange question, but
yeah, and it is a strange question. And I think if I sort of rewind back to that moment, right? We come back from Pittsburgh on the night or early morning of September 12th by bus because obviously couldn't fly. And, something I'll never forget is coming across the George Washington Bridge with a team full of guys trying to figure out what the world's going to be like. And we were getting escorted over the GW Bridge, and we could look down and see smoke in the air and lights streaming, and just realize in that moment the world has changed. You could hear nothing but a pin drop and guys crying on the bus ride. And so from that moment, we didn't know what to do. And fortunately, Bobby Valentine and Jay Horowitz and Sue Lucci from the Mets really kind of said, hey, we're going to be active and go down and start, seeing what we can do to help. And I thought it was going to be invasive. And we went down there, right away, 4 or 5 days after the attacks, and met with firefighters. And we were walking into these guys in the most horrific moments of their life, still digging for their brethren, and thinking, why are we here? And then you could see them look up and see Mike Piazza's face, or Johnny Franco, or Bobby, or me, or Robin, the guys that were there, and just felt like they could remove themselves for just a minute and talk baseball and have something that felt common. That's how I traded a hat. That's how we got started wearing the hats in commemoration.
You were the first one that did that?
Yeah, I traded a hat for an NYPD hat, and then the other guys wanted to have, that sort of solidarity from our team. We were told by the commissioner's office that we couldn't wear them because they were, they restricted the uniform violation. And all of this will be told at, in better detail with some other insight in the documentary that we do. But the reality is, we realized at that time that even though we felt like we were invading into their personal space, they welcomed us in. And so we thought, okay, well, maybe sports has a way to help heal. And so I think that's what motivated us. And that's, to your point, that 9/21 game and the invited guests that we had, which were fallen families and children that had lost their parents, and there's story after story about families that didn't know how to react. You get a base hit, was it going to be quiet? Are you allowed to celebrate? And the Piazza home run kind of lifted this this air and allowed people to say, let's go Mets, USA, and have a smile. And we've got some great testimonials that feel like baseball in some way, and sports in a more holistic way, helped them get through that time. And that's really what the story is about, how, baseball helped unite America, or at least New York City, at a time that you didn't know what to do.
From a fan's perspective, I remember being excited that baseball was back, going to that game, and going into the same Shea Stadium parking lot where we used to park, and the feel was totally different. And there were barriers everywhere and missing signs, and it gives me goosebumps thinking about it. But that's a fan's perspective as I'm going into it, like, holy crap, this is bizarre. And then kind of, the anthem and all that stuff from a fan's perspective. You had to play baseball in that game. What was that like, going to the park and then showing up once you got there?
That's a great question. And it was an interesting one, too, because I would say maybe not 50-50, but I think the team was split as to whether or not we wanted to play or not. Okay, is it time? I was a proponent that, hey, Giuliani and Bush and the people that are trying to piece this city back together are like, hey, we're not going to let them keep us down. Time to show that this city is resilient, and sports is the best way to do it. That's a great way to unite. So I was all for that. But some of the guys were still, had a little trepidation about going into that. Was it safe? Was it were 5 people going to show up, or 5,000 or 50,000? We had no real barometer. So going in there that night, seeing the amount of security and, the way that shaped up, 20 years later, I finally watched the game. I didn't, and I remember in my mind that what I remembered about that game was not the game itself. I had no idea if I got a hit. I had no idea if I made a good play. I knew Mike's home run, and I very, very little aside from that. But what I did remember was the national anthem, all the guys lined up on the field when the bagpipes came into the stadium, Liza Minnelli on the 7th inning stretch singing New York, New York, and watching the whole place like erupt with emotion. Those are the things that I remembered, and I had to watch the game to kind of realize what happened to the game, to your point.
That's absolutely, you almost feel, I almost don't want to transition, because there's other things to talk about, but it's crazy. It's crazy to think where we were, where we are now. When you said not all the guys wanted to play, did you guys take a literal vote? Was it actually man for man and counted up?
We did have meetings about it. I don't know that if we'd have said, hey, we're not ready, if that would have been, I think it would have been weighted towards the overall decision, but I don't think we were necessarily the absolute decision makers. And I think there was enough, momentum around baseball and the commissioner's office and Giuliani, say what you want about Rudy, but he was the leader in that moment of this city and kind of the heartbeat. And he was adamant that we've got to show that we can stand back on our feet, and this is the best way to do it. So I believed in that. And and by the way, the thing that's so bizarre about it, I think this goes to the point is like, it's tough to transition. Well, the reason we still talk about it now is because, a lot of the firefighters I go to visit, they were either 2 years old or not even born. And they want to know. And to them, a lot of what happened there and the way the city rallied around the first responders is maybe the reason they signed up to be firefighters in the first place. Or they had, a parent that went down in one of the towers and things like that. So it's the idea of never forgetting, which I think is what has really kind of kept this alive for us. And, you look back on that moment now, and World Series and great personal moments aside, there's nothing even close in my career that comes to the importance of playing in that game.
Tomorrow will be the 24th anniversary of 9/11. And then, as you mentioned, next year, the 25th anniversary, Mets will be playing the Yankees on that September 11th. Speaking of Mets playing the Yankees, they did so 25 years ago in the World Series. Do you still hate Timo Perez?
The hell was he doing?
I've had to forgive Timo. Your therapy, says that you got to let that go. No, I mean, look, was I surprised at the time? Yes. Have I talked about it a lot since? Of course, because it was that pivotal moment in Game 1, and I know that was probably when you broke a speaker in your mom's basement.
I was with
but
it,
unless you were there. Look, I thought the ball was out off the bat as well. I think the reality is he just thought it was gone and figured he was going to be coasting around the bases, and it surprised everybody. And, maybe instant replay shows that it snuck out over the top and came back in. But nevertheless, it just seemed to be one of those defining moments of that 2000 World Series, and another thing to, check on the belt of one Derek Jeter, because he makes the off-balance throw perfectly to Posada to get him at the plate. All those things had to align. And so, no, I don't hate Timo at all. And by the way, he was very good for us down the stretch and helped us get to that point. So all is forgiven, Timo. Come back and, you come out to Citi
Maybe he
Field
can
this
pinch run
weekend.
tomorrow for you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, all's forgiven from your perspective, not from mine. I still hate him. No,
I don't blame you.
No,
What's it like in the dugout after somebody makes a mistake of that magnitude on that stage? I mean, does Bobby light him up? Do you light him up? Somebody's got to light him up, no?
Nobody lights him up, and it was one of those things like it's a 0-0 tie in Game 1, right? In the 6th inning of Game 1 of a World Series, of a Subway Series. It was a great game. It was, nobody had cracked through at that point. So it was a little bit stunned reaction, more so than an angered reaction. It was stunned like, okay, well, let's get back out there because this game is still ours to win. And we took a lead and had that game still and lost it in the 11th. Yeah. And we had a lead in the 9th again. So, look, you can say that was a pivotal moment. I'm on second base. There's 2 outs. We've got Ventura coming up. There could have been other ways to crack through. But at the end of the day, we still had an opportunity to win it in 9 and wasn't able to close the door.
Real quick, Todd, there's been some shiftings. And by the way, Todd Zal's with us in studio here, BT and Sal on the Fan. There's been some shiftings here where the Yankees have not won since 2009. The Mets are spending money. Mets took Soto. Mets had a nice run last year. So it's changed a little bit. But when you're in the moment, and pro athletes aren't ever conditioned to think that they can't beat another pro, otherwise you wouldn't be a pro. Right. You'd be mentally weak and you wouldn't make it. But going into that, the Yankees were still at the apex of their powers, 96, 98, 99, obviously going into 2000. Did you think that you were going to beat them?
Yes, absolutely. I think I told Sal this at one time, and he's like, why? But we sat, and we, as a team, we watched the final playoff game for the Yankees to determine who we were going to. We had already clinched, and we knew we were going to the World Series. And so I personally and a lot of our guys said, let it be the Yankees. We want the Yankees. We think, and we had, back and forth games during that season. The Roger and Mike thing happened, and the split doubleheader at 2 parks in the same
that was insane.
On the same day. I mean, it couldn't have been a more bizarre and interesting baseball year for New York City. So we thought, this is the way it's supposed to end. The Mets are going to unseat the mighty Yankees in a World Series. Bring them on.
But aside from the symbolism of that, did you actually think that they had weaknesses that you guys would exploit, making you better?
We did.
What about that team did you think was weak?
I don't know that we thought that they had weaknesses. We just felt like we could beat them. We felt like even in the games we lost to them during the regular season, we felt like we were in those games and should have won those games and could have won those games. And so I think, was it Seattle or whomever? I think it was sort of the unknown, and they were, we didn't really know them at all. We knew the Yankees, and we felt collectively like, hey, we can beat these guys, and we wanted we wanted it for the city as well. We thought it would be an electric, opportunity in New York City, and it was. It just didn't go our way.
It was a good try.
Get the hell out of here with that good try nonsense. BT and Sal, the Fan with Todd Zal in studio. A couple more for you. Todd, you were a good postseason player in your career. 29 playoff games, 292, 4 homers, 14 ribbies. Did it with the Orioles, Rangers, and the Mets. You think that postseason success is something that it's not the flip of the switch, but with this Mets team in particular, like to me, I look at it saying they have some guys that can do damage there. Is there something to that upping their game? And do you believe that this team can do that if they do make it to October?
Look, I've always thought and felt like when you get to those big moments, you want to see who's got that kind of inner, strength to perform in those moments, and not only to perform in those moments, but to want to be the guy in those moments. And I thought, anytime I had an opportunity to play in the playoffs, I'm like, hey, this is the stage that I want to be on. I want to be up with men on base. I want to be the guy up there. And I feel like my game got better. My focus got more keen. The bat felt fast. The pitching felt hittable. And so I loved anything to do with like big games, postseason play. And I think there are some guys on the Mets that feel like they like that stage as well and have shown that they can have success in that moment.
Todd, you came up in '89, and Sal and I were talking before you came, and we obviously, I'm a few years older, so I remember you, I don't know more than Sal, but I obviously remember your career very well. '89 to when you retired to now, all right? The game's changed a ton. Is the game better now in your eyes or when you first entered the game in '89?
You sound like an old guy if you say it was better in my era, but it was different. I think it was different. What I do like, I think the pendulum swung a long way towards analytics and three true outcomes and things that I didn't really buy into as much.
Yeah.
I thought there was certainly a world where analytics was going to help and play a part and give information that was interesting and maybe shape the game differently. I thought it went to such an extreme that I felt like the game became a game that was run by people that had never put on cleats and stepped on the field.
Geeks.
And that felt like, okay, you're eliminating some of the human element, which I think is the most fascinating thing about any sport, including baseball. So I think the pendulums started to come back. I do feel like some of the rule changes that they've made, that I'm a purist, I think have been good for the game. I think stolen bases being included back in the game is something that's good. I think the pitch clock has helped. And I usually get resistance on this, but one of the things that I think for regular season, having the runner on second in extra innings, I think has been a good thing. And why? Because I can remember during this time where I think the pendulum was swinging towards three true outcomes, I did games, and this is a personal event, but I did games where the Mets were on the West Coast. So the game starts at 10. You're in a 1-1 game after 3.5 hours, and then go 17 innings of 1-1 with 30 strikeouts in the game. That's literal. I'm talking about 30 strikeouts on the two teams and a 1-1 game into the 16th and 17th inning, because everybody walks up every at bat either going to strike out or hit a home run. Yeah. And it became such a boring game to me that I'm like, something's got to change. And I feel like that was sort of the moment where the pendulum started to come back. And so I think the guys are better athletes now. I think that they're stronger. They're more committed year round. They are faster and bigger and throw harder. And so I think the game is probably tougher today than it was in my era. But, it's relative because these guys grew up with that same level of competition until they got to the big leagues.
For me, it was never about pace of play. It was always about quality of play. So in that game, 1-1 with 30 strikeouts, like that's just bad baseball.
Agreed.
Not to mention that it takes forever. You think the Mets get in the playoffs or no?
I do. I do think they do. I think their back's against the wall. I think they feel like now, at least I don't know. I'm speculating that, but if I were in that clubhouse, I feel like today is the day that, hey, back's against the wall now. We don't have any padding anymore. San Francisco believes they can overtake us, and and Cincinnati's not that far behind them. So, hey, it's in our own hands. Time for us to take care of our own business.
Would you change your feel if tomorrow you wake up, and obviously you'll be working tonight, but it's 9-3 Phillies? Like, are you placing that much emphasis tonight to kind of shift this thing?
I don't necessarily think it's a must-win. I don't believe necessarily in must-wins unless you're in Game 6 of a series.
Yep.
But I do believe it's an important game, and I do think that, sometimes people will say, well, the most important games, you never know which ones they're going to be over the course of the year. This is an important game.
One win can change the feel. They win tonight, all of a sudden it's, okay, deep breath. Even if the Giants win a game, just changes the feel.
There's no question. How would you grade Lindor's season, like in totality? Because we focus on Soto and the pitching and all the Mendoza's moves lately. We haven't talked about Lindor as much, and the Mets aren't hitting a ton. A to Z, Lindor's season 2025. What have you seen?
I feel like Lindor's season has been one that you're going to have to look back on and really analyze at some point, because it's felt like, oh, he's had a great season. He's an all-star for the first time as a Met, and he got off to a really good start, which is unusual for Lindor. And so you figured that lull would have to come. I think the lull took a long time for him to kind of figure out his way out of it, but he had built up such good numbers. It never really looked like his numbers sunk that badly. He's played lesser quality defense this year, and I think he would tell you the same thing than we've seen in the past. Even though he's been spectacular at times, he's missed some routine plays, and he's put a lot of blame on himself for costing some games with his defense. So I think overall he's had, I would say, a decent year, but not a great year for Lindor this year. And I think part of the reason that it's so important that he has a good year is it just seems like when he goes, this team goes. And
That's why I'm asking.
I mean, and you've got Juan Soto, and Pete Alonso's been spectacular with driving in runs. Brandon Nimmo's had his hot streaks. You've got the young guys that are swinging the bat well. But at the end of the day, when Lindor is hot, this team seems to follow. And that's a lot to put on one guy's shoulders because it's a team game. But when we've seen him warm up, this team seems to follow.
Last one from me. Would you go matchups based, or would you just say Beatty's our third baseman, or Vientos is our DH, or vice versa? Would you, McNeil in center, McNeil at second? How would you align those guys?
I may differ on opinion on this one, but I like the idea of Jeff McNeil in center, Brett Beatty at second base, Mauricio at third, and Vientos DHing. I've liked that for a while. It may be hard to plug that in because they've put Mauricio on the cooler for the last couple of weeks, and he's on the milk carton, and we haven't seen him. But
keep running the bases like you did the other night. You're going to stay there.
I mean, I think that was something that was really starting to click at the trade deadline. You got quality play out of all three of those young guys, Beatty, Vientos, and Mauricio. Vientos was just starting to warm up at the trade deadline. They make the trade for Mullins. They've got to play Mullins. That puts Jeff back at second. That puts Beatty at third. That puts Vientos on the bench or at DH. And I thought you saw a lull because of that, even though once Mark gets hot, this team has gotten hot. But look, I've been a guy that I thought they had enough pieces at the deadline not to have to go get Mullins or anybody else in center field.
All right, go get those cuts in. We've taken up too much of your time today. You got to get ready for Saturday.
We can't say that in the air. What cuts are you talking about? I'm not doing any training for the game this weekend. I'm just going to go out there raw, Sal. No, I got to do something so I don't blow an Achilles like somebody on the other side of town.
We appreciate the time. Check it out. Todd's production company going to be working on a film for next year, as he talked about, the 25th anniversary of 9/11. You'll be tomorrow, Engine 3, Ladder 12, as well, with Leiter, Franco, and Bobby V. Thank you for your time, Todd.
My pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Todd. Good stuff, man.
Yep, we'll see you later. Todd, of course, catch him out on the pre- and post-game show for SNY. This segment was sponsored by NJMEP Manufacturing Day on October 3rd in Freehold. If you work in New Jersey, manufacturing, your chance to network, learn, and connect with resources for your business is October 3rd, the annual Made in New Jersey Manufacturing Day in Freehold. Both gubernatorial candidates will share their vision for industry in New Jersey. Register today at njmep.org. And by Moderna. The BT and Sal Show on the Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Mnexspike, COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna is now available and easy to find near you. To learn more, visit mnexspike.com. That's MNEXSPIKE.com.
Every NFL touchdown can bring you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, score over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WFAN. That's code WFAN to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first $5 bet. Plus, over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. 21 and over. New York only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. When it's game time, it's Tully time. Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume, imported by William Grant & Sons Incorporated, New York, New York.
Hey, it's John Gallucci Jr., President and CEO at JAG Physical Therapy. When I was a young clinician practicing as a physical therapist, I used to see people come into the clinic and say to myself, these simple injuries can all be prevented if you visit your physical therapist before the injury, such as strengthening, flexibility, balance. My physical therapist and myself are here to treat you. If you get injured with a slip or fall around the house, or you strain your low back, or you happen to hurt your knee golfing, JAG Physical Therapy has state-of-the-art facilities where our physical therapists have top-notch equipment to help you recover from your injury or illness as quick as possible and ready to go back into the game of life.
JAG is the only outpatient physical therapy and occupational therapy provider that serves the 5 boroughs, Long Island, Rockland, Westchester, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Schedule your visit today at jagpt.com. That's JAGPT.com.
Get back the life you love at JAG Physical Therapy.
We're always talking New York sports on The Fan.
Luxury just got tripled with Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Mercedes-Benz of Union, and Ray Cattina of Freehold. 3 powerhouse locations in New Jersey. 1 legendary name, Ray Cattina. More inventory, featuring one of the East Coast's largest selections of new and pre-owned Mercedes-Benz vehicles. More convenience with 3 state-of-the-art service centers to keep your Mercedes-Benz running like new. And of course, legendary Ray Cattina customer service, where you always come first. Experience the power of 3 at benzfam.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, football fans, tune in this week to kick off with Boomer and Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and stories from across the NFL. Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Whenever water damage strikes your home or business, call on the cleanup and restoration specialists at 1-800-SERVPRO to help make it like it never even happened. That's 1-800-SERVPRO.
Franchises are independently owned and operated.
FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you won't want to miss. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. You can build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines. Whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. The NFL season is finally here. The only question is, are you ready to play? Visit FanDuel.com/Gio. That's G-I-O to download the FanDuel app today and get started. That's FanDuel.com/Gio. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure. When you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of WFAN. 21 and over and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT and Sal back on the Fan on this Wednesday afternoon. 888-808-1019 is the number to call. Get back to your calls here in a little bit. You know what's weird? First of all, it's great having Todd Zal in studio, hanging out, getting his perspective on things. Not only the 9/11 anniversary, which, you know, obviously tomorrow will be 24 years. We mentioned that, but the special that he's going to have coming out, I'm sure will shed a different light and perspective of those days between the actual attacks and the baseball game that was played on September 21st. But you heard Todd talk about the current Mets and talk about tonight, you know, a big game. And that's what we live for as sports fans. These big games. I know that it feels like, oh, God. Like, there's a part of me, just from a fan perspective for a second, that is like, uh-oh. It is a big game. Like, you can't lose to the Phillies again. Mm-hmm. But there's also the part of me that's like, I'm excited to see what they can do here tonight. This is what it's about. 17 games to go. You have a playoff spot. Like, think about from a Mets perspective how infrequent this opportunity, this spot is. That's why I can't understand the doom, the pending doom feel. Yes, there are reasons to be concerned. Of course, it's been a down regular season. However, this is what it's all about. Up in the playoffs, two-game lead with 70 to go.
Yeah, and, you know, listen, you have these feelings and these thoughts, and certainly for us as a living opinions, clearly that we, you know, espouse every day here. And sometimes they change day to day. I could just tell you, like, what I'm thinking with both of these teams now. Obviously, more focus on the Mets because it's more dire right now. So I don't do it every night. Maybe once, maybe twice a week. I'll get a lawn chair, get a bag of seeds, spit some seeds because it's beautiful out. Watch my son's football practice like the last hour, and then I'll pick him up, whatever. And the Mets starting earlier the last couple of days against Philly, I have these expectations. And before I looked at my phone, and it was probably about 7:05 now because I was in the middle of a conversation, my expectation last night was that the Mets would be down. I just felt that. And then I looked and it was 2-0. I'm like, then it was 4-0. I'm obviously recording the games and go back and catch up on everything. My expectation for the Yankees was fairly benign. I didn't really know what to expect. I saw Judge had the home run. They jump up early. I'm like, okay. And then the inning got away. Tonight, I don't really have a great feeling for the Yankees either. But I don't feel like the Mets are going to bounce back tonight.
Yeah, I can see that feeling. They could be in the middle of a storm right now against Philadelphia in that ballpark. It could be. But one game, one inning. Think about it. 2 nights ago, they lost 1-0.
No.
And if not for a boneheaded decision by the manager and a bad base running play to combat things, they could have easily won. They had second and third with 1 out.
Yeah, and the thing that's
down 1-0. Like, come on.
And the thing that's been lost from that night, which we didn't even really get into because we focused on Mauricio, the read, the base running, send them, don't send them. Obviously, pinch running for Pete, who's a good base runner, probably a bit slow.
slower than Mauricio, but a savvy runner. What got lost in translation, to be fair to the Mets, is that they were about 4 inches away from a double by McNeil off one of the best closers in baseball that was rifled down the right field line that hit the umpire.
Right.
So
that changed. I know.
I mean, it's not there's no ninth place. It's like ninth place prize. Here's a consolation gift, but that was the reality. He had a really competitive at bat. Alvarez did not, but McNeil did. You get a little lucky. You get 2 runs, you might win the game 2-1.
Let's not make it like the Mets can't win a ball game here against a good team, where literally they took 2 or 3 from Detroit, one of the best teams in the American League, last week. They did sweep these same Phillies, and even with the last night felt like, okay, here we go. It's going the wrong way. Maybe last night was the aberration. See if they could go out there, get a solid start for the first 5 innings of the game, and have their bats go to work. By the way, you can make an argument. Now, this is not excusing the Mets whatsoever. You could make an argument the Phillies are the best team in baseball. Their pitching is elite, even without Zach Wheeler.
Changes without Wheeler.
No, look at it, dude. Look at these guys that throwing out there.
Pitchers are best pitching staff in baseball.
No. They could be the best team in baseball.
Oh, best team. I'm sorry.
I said best team in baseball. Look at their pitching. Now, that doesn't mean that the Mets should be able to beat anybody on any given night, and they have done that with Philly. But when we talk about, who's better in the National League? Do you trust the Brewers wholeheartedly?
No.
Okay, I don't either. The Dodgers have 81 wins themselves. Like, they're in a fight for the division with the Padres, who are right there with the Mets. So, like, the Dodgers, Padres haven't been lights out. If we don't really trust the Brewers, that leaves one team. It's not the Cubs. That leaves one team. It's the Phillies. The American League has not been as good as the National League. So, really, the Phillies might, in fact, be the best team in all of baseball.
Which I never really associated them with being this year, which maybe that's why I'm having a little reluctance doing it now. But also keep in mind, if you think that they are, and, as we kind of flush through it, it's not the craziest thought. You might actually be onto something here. The entire left side of the infield's out, and Trey Turner's out until the playoffs there. What does that do night to night? Obviously changes their offense. Bohm is a little bit different. I'm not exactly sure how long he's going to be out, but without Trey Turner, an element of average speed, run production, plus speed, it's going to change how they look night to night, but they got a couple of starters who go out there, put up a lot of zeros, strike a lot of guys out, and give their big guys a chance to score some runs.
Here's the thing. The Phillies are definitively better than the Mets. By any measurement you want to throw out there, they're better than the Mets. They have a 9-game lead. They've been more consistent. They're going to easily win in the 90s at least. For with the Phillies, maybe the high 90s, whatever it is, 17 games to go, they already have 85 wins. Outside of the playoff win last year from the Mets, and outside of the recent sweep, which I was actually shocked that the Mets swept the Phillies at home, the Phillies have been the better team. So nobody's going to dispute that. Doesn't mean the Mets can accept getting swept. They can't. And on any given day, you got to be able to go out there and compete with the best. That's how they're going to be judged. Their payroll's higher. They have the talent. Go compete at the very least on equal footing with the Phillies. They've done it for the most part head-to-head.
Yeah.
But overall, the Phillies have clearly been the better team.
You know what's interesting about the Mets and the Phillies, like their whole dynamic, their whole baseball rivalry relationship? I forget the exact stat, but I've seen it flash a few times where the Mets and the Phillies are very rarely good together in the same season. What is it like? Only 5 times, if I had that right. Somebody tweeted me this.
Where they finished 1 and 2.
Where they finished 1 and 2. Now this goes back to when the Expos were in the division and very good. The Cubs were in the division, if you're old enough, and a couple of years they were good. Things have obviously changed here. The Marlins have won a couple of championships. Obviously, the Braves have been fantastic a lot of these years. But isn't that amazing for 2 teams that have been in the same division for so long? And they've had some good teams. Both, they're very rarely this relevant at the same time. It's kind of weird.
For the last 30 years, it's been primarily the Braves division in part.
Pretty much. All right, Sal, 888-808-1019 is our number. We got about 30 minutes back before we get back. Well, not 30 minutes before we get back, but 30 minutes to go. Then it's Evan and Tiki. Obviously, a little bit behind it with Todd Zal in studio, but it was fun having him in. We'll get back to the calls, whether it's Mets, whether it's Aaron Glenn and the Jets cutting Gibson, whatever it might be. Hey, Total Orthopedics, Long Island's premier orthopedic practice, whether it's a sports-related injury or something a little more complex. Total Ortho has you covered at locations throughout Long Island, Queens, and now they're even in West Orange, New Jersey. Don't struggle with pain or injuries and get fast expert care from the leading orthopedic doctors, including the #1 spine doctor on Long Island. Visit TotalOrthoSportsMed.com and schedule an appointment today. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experts at getting you back to being you.
The city's biggest indoor pickleball event is coming back, BT, October 10th and 11th, and it will sell, out. Sign up for the fun or for the cash prizes. Go to 1010wins.com/pickleball for all the info. The pickleball tournament is presented by Nissan. At Nissan, we make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today. Shop NissanUSA.com.
Swing on a drive deep to left. Got a chance. Giddy up, baby.
The Yankees meet up with the Tigers. 7:05 tonight. Driven by Jeep.
And it is gone.
That was an extraordinary play.
Susan Waldman and Dave Sims call all the play-by-play on the home of Yankees baseball. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
I'm Michael Jenkins here to help you beat the books with BetMGM Network. We're taking the Pirates, Orioles first 5 under 4. Paul Skeens is on the mound, and anytime he is, the first 5 under is a must-play. He has allowed only 4 total runs in his last 25 innings. Tyler Wells will go for Baltimore. It's only the second time he's seen action this year, but we all know the Pirates' offense struggles, especially in the first 5. Take Pirates, Orioles first 5 under 4. I'm Michael Jenkins from the BetMGM Network. Bet smarter and beat the books, and download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Billed monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
We could tell you what it's like to drive the Nissan Rogue and tell you all about its performance capabilities, like its VC turbo engine. It's I can go virtually anywhere type of freedom. Nice. But you don't have to take our word for it. Go drive it for yourself. You're up. Experience the power of the Nissan Rogue.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Get 0% APR for 60 months on the 2025 Nissan Rogue, Pathfinder, or Murano. Visit your local Nissan store and NissanUSA.com today. For well-qualified buyers, example, 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to Nissan Motor Acceptance Company credit approval, not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends September 30th, 2025.
When your name's on the paint job, your primer better hold up. Painters trust Kills primers for serious adhesion, stain blocking, and a finish that lasts. Now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick it up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
Huge savings on Dell AI PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors are here, and they're newly designed to help you do more faster. They can generate code, edit images, multitask without lag, draft emails, summarize documents, create live translations, and even extend your battery life. That's the power of Dell AI with Intel inside. Upgrade today by visiting Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on The Fan.
Hey, Tiki here. Imagine a world where all your smart devices work together seamlessly in one simple ecosystem. Introducing the Sloman's Shield Link. With Sloman's Shield Link, transform your home into a truly intelligent smart home experience. Control your lights, heating and cooling, door locks, cameras, TVs, just about anything in your home. Life is busy and daily stresses add up. But with Sloman's Shield Link, your home tech works in harmony, making life more convenient, safe, and enjoyable. Now imagine pulling into your driveway, and with one tap, your home welcomes you. Lights on, doors unlocked, only to hear your favorite music. A true smart home isn't just about gadgets. It's about comfort and security. With Sloman's Shield, enjoy a full integration of home security and automation, all at your fingertips. Make your life easier and your home a safer haven. Learn more at SlomansShieldLink.com or call 1-800-ALARM-ME. Embrace the future of home living with Sloman's Shield Link.
Listen weekdays from 1 to 2 on The Fan for the call of the day with BT and Sal, brought to you by Wind Creek Bethlehem. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Looking for Michelin tires at the guaranteed lowest price? Get to Town Fair Tire. Michelin's innovative technologies are designed for durability and performance over any of the toughest road conditions, so you can trust you're getting the highest quality tires. And Town Fair's been a name you can trust since 1967. Now with over 120 locations and still growing, because nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT and Sal back on the Fan. Let's get some calls in here, BT. Freddie is calling from Newton. What's up, Freddie?
Hey, Sal, BT, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Freddie?
Hey, Fred.
Pretty good. Okay, I'm a positive Mets fan. The Mets going to make the playoffs. But the one thing bothered me the other day, Francisco Alvarez came to the plate with 2 out, and he struck out at 3 balls outside, at least 12 inches outside. Did you see that at bat?
Mm-hmm. We talked about it yesterday, Freddie. I mean, it was a horrible at bat. But what does that have to do? What does that have to do with the big picture? You're concerned about Alvarez in general?
Yeah, well, no, I think he's your best catcher. Torrenzo. Definitely better defensive catcher.
And Torrens is hurt right now. Thank you for the call, Freddie. A lot of noise. Yeah, I mean, it was an awful at bat. We talked about it.
I think it was the worst at bat I've seen all season. Yeah, it was bad.
He clearly, my thought process was, okay, he blew away McNeil. Duran blew away McNeil. And my thought process, unfortunately, was similar to Alvarez in that, well, you're not going to get that fastball by him. But Alvarez can't have that mentality. You could be looking fastball. You can't be overmatched to that degree. And then after the first one, where it was clear Alvarez was just looking for a heater to turn around, then you've got to adjust, bro. And he just blew him away.
Hey, listen, I mean, he's throwing, what does he throw, 101, 102, whatever, and a wipeout, dude. I mean, this stuff is absolutely filthy here. But, yeah, if you're going to sell out expecting one pitch, the first pitch, that's one thing. Right. But you have to make an adjustment. And I know it's hard to read it out of his hand and pick up the seams and do it. But you can't have 3 consecutive swings where you miss the baseball by 1.5 feet.
You've got to be smarter. Awful. If you're geared for the fastball and the first pitch you get beat on something other than that, you got to be thinking, okay, well, he knows that I could turn one around. Mm-hmm. He's not going to give me one. Yep. And those pitches weren't even in the strike zone.
It was a mindset. Like at that point,
exactly.
what you got to do is you just got to say, because he's gearing up to crank one. I get it. He wanted to be the hero. Right. Understood. Shorten up. This means, you're going to let the curveball get you. Hit it to right field. Hit it double to right center.
That's exactly right. Steve is in Howard Beach. What's up, Steve?
Guys, how are you? Okay. As far as the Jets season, I think it's going to be a tumultuous one, and here's why. Aaron Glenn is very short, and I don't mean in stature, in his responses to the media when asked questions, and I think that's going to end up in this market blowing up in his face and causing a lot of turmoil internally when it blows up in the media, because I think the Jets are going to get off to a very rough start here, and things are going to catch up to them very, very quickly.
Well,
what do you think about that?
I don't see that, Steve. Thanks for the call. And by the way, the literal definition of tumultuous is a state of great confusion. Does he ever seem confused? The man is in charge with everything. Disorder, excitement, or disturbance characterized by a mix of intense emotions and unpredictable events. Now, I don't feel that's not the word that I would use. I'm not saying to get a bag 3 wins by first week in October here, but number one, I think there's a built-in cushion. I think that Aaron Glenn's going to get a little bit more respect than others who start here because he played here, and I think that his honesty and his transparency is going to be appreciated. Now, that's got an expiration point. But no, tumultuous is not a word I would even remotely attach to year one of the Aaron Glenn regime. Not at all. The exact opposite. Man. Stability they've been craving, if anything.
Sports Talk on WFAN is presented by Paramount Plus. Sylvester Stallone is back in the original hit series Tulsa King. This season, Dwight faces his most dangerous adversaries yet, forcing him to fight for everything he's built and to protect his empire. Stream the new season of Tulsa King on Sunday, September 21st, exclusively on Paramount Plus. Stephen Howard Beach loves Tulsa King. Anthony's calling from Harlem. What's up, Ant?
Hey, fellas. Good afternoon.
How are you?
Guys, so really quick, I just wanted to let you know, I've been calling you guys a while. I've been with the FDNY 24 years. This is my last 9/11. I'm retiring. And I want to tell you that throughout my career after 9/11, no organization, sports organization, has done more for first responder families, taking care of 9/11 cancer firefighters more than the New York Mets. They are an incredible, exemplary organization when it comes to that, with the friends that I've lost. And I will always root for the blue and orange, even if they get caught by the Giants, guys. I just wanted to let you listeners know that. Sal, you can let Todd know that when you see him in the studio. It means a lot to us.
We'll do.
That's awesome. And by the way, congrats on an awesome career. 24, 25 years, FDNY, it's a great job. It's still a great job. Good for you.
I just want to say really quick, just to transition, BT, I'm not going to get into why, but we got the right guy coaching the New York Jets. Aaron Glenn is awesome, and he's a Parcells disciple, and that was a Parcells move. And it's going to turn here, brother. One day soon, it's going to turn here. It's going to be wins. So
And I got no doubt, man. I'm with you, buddy. I really am. Thanks for the call. We appreciate the sentiments. And again, happy retirement. It seems like you're going to retire, and that's awesome. And the Mets do. Like almost all the teams here, if not all the teams. Like our teams really get out in the community. I know the Mets do a lot, so props to them.
But the Mets have done more. And I've always wondered this too, because back then, like obviously the Mets got to the World Series in 2000, but the Yankees were the team. It's not to minimize what other teams have done, but it does feel like in that particular case, 9/11, the Mets have gone above and beyond, and I'm not sure why that's the case more so than others.
All right, well, I mean, I don't know the exact mileage, but, I mean, Shea's closer to the tower side, right, than going up to Yankee Stadium. So maybe it just started, that was the place, I don't want to say place of convenience, that minimizes the Mets effort. I don't mean that.
Like it became a morgue.
No, I know. And Tiki's talked about this too. Yeah. I mean, so that I'm sure it's closer just in proximity. Not a ton, because Yankee Stadium's not far without traffic. I think that might be the start of it, but that doesn't mean that that's the reason for the continuation. Now, I don't know what, and it doesn't even matter. If like nobody's looking for a scoreboard, well, the Mets did this and the Yankees did this. The pettiness will not be tolerated when it comes to trying to determine who did more for 9/11. I think everybody did what they could. I'll just leave it at this. I feel like the Mets have always done a great job with stuff. Yeah. I really have. Like they connect with the police, with the firemen, with the EMT, and so do the Yankees, there's no doubt. But specific to that call, Mets do a great job.
Yeah, and I do think maybe it stems back to because of the proximity and because they had to use Shea Stadium, and then the players were impacted personally to a degree where Todd said it himself 25 years later, 24 tomorrow, but doing the film on the 25th anniversary of 9/11 next year, like it impacts them more because they just happened to see it on hand, whatever it was at that time. Also, the first game back, 9/21, like the Mets played that game. Like there is a connection that the Mets had that the other teams didn't necessarily have that was maybe a little more intimate at the time, which is made them continue to do it all these years later. Other teams, of course, were charitable. Nobody's trying to minimize it, but
no, I know you're not.
Anthony said it himself, like he's down there,
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think it's so sad to think how fast time goes, but and Todd hinted at this, but think about the children of some of the firefighters and others clearly, but just to stay with the FDNY theme, who were 3, 4, 5 years old when Todd and Piazza and some other Mets, Franco, were down there, and now they're grown men and they've got families, and that's. Like, think about how fast that was. Yeah, it's scary. It's sad.
Hard to believe it's been 24 years. BT and Sal on the Fan. We'll finish up on the phones when we come back. 888-808-1019.
It's Chris McMonagle overnights on the Fan. 1019 FM.
A new era of football. Clearly, new head coach, new quarterback, new everything with the New York Jets. Obviously, the beginning of the Aaron Glenn era. Obviously, the beginning of seeing Justin Fields. A new era of Jets football was on tap.
Listen to CMAC on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Andrew Perloff with an Odyssey Sports Minute sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Jalen Carter did something really dumb, and his timing was awful. Not only did the Eagles defensive tackle spit on an opponent, he did it while everyone was watching. NBC reported the Eagles-Cowboys Week 1 game was on pace to be their most watch opener ever before a huge rain delay. The NFL fined Carter yesterday, but they won't suspend him. But reputation-wise, no one is moving on. Carter's a great player. Now he has to match that talent with accountability. I'm Andrew Perloff.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time, like car wash. Right now, you can save 20% on the Armor All Complete Car Wash Kit. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
I'm Scott Hansen, host of NFL Red Zone. Lowe's knows Sundays hit different when you earn them. We've got you covered with outdoor power equipment from Cobalt and everything you need to weatherproof your deck with Trex Decking. Plus, with lawn care from Scott's and, of course, Pit Boss grills and accessories, you can get a home field advantage all season long. So get to Lowe's, get it done, and earn your Sunday. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. When it's game time, it's Tully time. Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume, imported by William Grant & Sons Incorporated, New York, New York.
Hey, New York! Looking for a great deal to stay connected? Now, for a limited time, Verizon's offering Fios home internet and one line of mobile for just $69.99. Yes, that's right, just $69.99 per month. Get unlimited welcome for $50 per month with autopay plus taxes and fees when you bring your phone. And add Fios for just $19.99 per month with autopay, mobile plus home discount, and bonus discount. Visit your tri-state area Verizon store today to get this limited time offer and switch to our 100% fiber optic network and reliable 5G network. Fios, for eligible new Fios internet and mobile customers. Fios $15 monthly bonus discount applied over 36 months. Mobile and home discount enrollment required. $99 Fios setup charge applies. Bring your phone. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions. Participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Talk New York sports on The Fan.
Hey, FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you won't want to miss. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet. Bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. You could build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. The NFL season is finally here, and the only question is, are you ready to play? Visit FanDuel.com/Boomer to download the FanDuel app today and get started. That's FanDuel.com/Boomer. Now, we all love the app around here. It is safe, secure, and when you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of WFAN.
21 and over and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, go 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Connecticut's best values at Town Fair Tire. They honor all manufacturer and valid competitor rebates, offer the most free services for life, plus give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
Recovering from an addiction is an individual accomplishment. A young mother who chose recovery to care for her family. A high school athlete overcoming opioid addiction. A couple celebrating his recovery. Everyone's recovery is different, and there's no shame in asking for help. Call 844-REACH-NJ. Trained counselors are available 24/7 to help you find the recovery option that's best for you. Tell us your story, and let's begin your recovery today. A message from New Jersey Human Services.
Diving for that grounder got you grounded?
We've got specialists for that. Layup, take you down? We've got specialists for that. With 45 Castle Connolly top doctors, Orland & Cohen specialists are considered among the best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. From Staten Island to Southampton, our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better, faster. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
Football season is here, and just like winning teams, your engagement should be all about the best. So if you're ready to pop the big question this season, why not visit the experts at London Jewelers? With top-notch professionals and cutting-edge technology, London Jewelers can help you select or even design the absolute perfect ring. So whether you're starting over or starting new, let the professionals at London Jewelers be a part of your journey. Visit any one of their convenient 6 locations across New York and New Jersey. London Jewelers, serving you and your family since 1926.
Catch all the play-by-play with Susan Waldman and Dave Sims, the home of Yankees radio, The Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT, it's out back on The Fan. Couple minutes to play with here. Today's call today brought to you by Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. And it was our buddy Todd Zal stopping in studio. In case you missed it, check it out on the free Odyssey app. He had a lot to say about the current Mets, his days with the Mets, and, of course, 9/11 coming up tomorrow, the 24th anniversary. Ralph is in Manhattan. What's up, Ralph?
The Mets have gone beyond the pale. They've done a wonderful job when it comes to 9/11. You know, the proximity is a factor, guys. You know, the stadium was right there, overlooking the tragedy and everything else. And you know, and the game being on the 21st, that 21st of September meant a great deal to New York in the whole. You know, it was a fantastic time. You know that they did. They really rectified the situation as best they could. But I'll tell you about the Mets. The Phillies are so much better than this team. It's really a joke. If you look up and down, you wonder how the Mets are going to compete against this team. But clearly, each and every year, the best teams don't win. The playoff picture, the structure is so strangely constructed that they don't really get the best teams all the time. So you have to play. It's funny. You play 162 games, guys, and the playoff structure is such that it's a crapshoot, and 162 games don't even mean anything because you can get knocked out right away and your whole season is gone.
Well, but Ralph, hold on, Ralph. You can't say it doesn't mean anything. If you don't win enough games, you don't get to play in the postseason.
Well, here's the thing. Maybe not. Maybe I put it wrongly, but not. It doesn't mean it shouldn't be 162 games to pan out to something as much as a crapshoot. Mm-hmm. Maybe you chop it down. You chop it down to maybe 140 games, something reasonable. The fact that these guys play 162 guys is really. They say it's a marathon. The game, that's not true.
Everything else changed. Everything else changed, Ralph. And I'm sorry, we got to cut you short there because we got a minute left in the show. Everything else changed with the sport, except the fact that the regular season is still 162 games. Mm-hmm. I'm a purist at heart. It's got to change because, of course, the regular season means something only in just getting in. Yep. Once the playoffs start, it really doesn't mean anything. We've seen it different ways. Teams that win 80 games as the last wild card, teams that win the division and have the best record in the sport go out in the first round. The wild card teams go to the World Series. Like it is a crapshoot.
I'm okay if you slog 20 games off the schedule, but to do it for playoff purposes, I could get down with that. But also, and I've said this before, we've become so used to baseball always being there. I think there's something to be said, the absence a little fonder in the heart. If it's not on every single night, I think we might appreciate it. Even though we appreciate it, I think some others might appreciate it more. But listen, they're not slicing games because that's money, and they're all greedy entities, and that's not going to change.
Yeah, I mean, now the problem is if they shaved off 20 games, let's say, they're going to want to add those in playoff games, which would make the playoffs an even bigger crapshoot than it already is.
You feeling good tonight?
I'm feeling good about them getting in. There's 17 games to go. If they win the majority of those games, 9-8, they're getting in the playoffs to me. So.
What if we come in tomorrow and it's sliced down to 1?
Not worried about it. Here's a prediction. Mets win, Giants lose. Everybody feels differently tomorrow morning.
That's what we're looking for. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, they'll be in the playoffs. That'll be a whole different level of evaluation, but I'm confident they'll be in the playoffs. All right, that does it for us. We'll do more football tomorrow as we look ahead to the matchups with the Giants and the Jets, of course, each individual matchups there, and react to whatever baseball brings tonight. Let's hope it's better than last night for both these teams. Thanks to Dove. Thanks to Rami filling in for Hoff, who was out today. He'll be back with us tomorrow. Hopefully you will as well. We appreciate the listeners. We We appreciate everybody who called. Thanks to Todd Zal for coming by as well. See you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Evan Tiki, they're coming up next.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., it's Kickoff with Boomer and Mike Valenti.